Yo! What is good, Philly Take Nation? Welcome on in to another edition of NBA Playoff Game Day Live. Saturday Night Hoops, third game of the day. First day of the official NBA playoffs after a wild sequence of play-in games. We are on the eve of Sixers versus Celtics. Like I said, we're going to be watching some other games as well. So I thought let's hop on and watch another Eastern Conference game today. It is the Atlanta Hawks in New York for a rematch of a very feisty series from a couple years ago. Hawks taking on the Knicks, 6 seed versus the 3 seed. Who will come out victorious? Who will make their statement? Who will make their mark felt in game 1? How will the series go? And we'll get into all of the NBA playoff talk as it is officially underway. Fired up, man. This is the warm-up. This is the warm-up for tomorrow. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Welcome on in officially, ladies and gentlemen. It is NBA Playoff Game Day Live right here on Philly Take with RB. Like I said, we're going to be streaming a ton of playoff games. And yeah, man, we're underway with our first official Game 1 playoff stream here. Obviously, we have Sixers Celtics tomorrow. So we'll definitely talk about that, but good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you're tapping in from, and happy Saturday. Welcome in to Philly Take with RB. Our show is presented by our great friends at National University. As always, we are powered by the Prize Picks app. We give you the pregame, live game, postgame coverage. Make sure you go down below if you're in here already. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these streams. Make sure you turn on noties, that way you don't miss any content. And push this channel around to anybody you know that enjoys NBA hoops. We are trying to grow the community. We are very close to 53K. So let's see if we can get that here tonight. And last but not least, make sure you follow us on all of our socials. We're pumping out tons of content, man. Exclusive content on TikTok, IG, Facebook, audio. Make sure you follow us everywhere. Thank you so much for being here, man. All right, I don't have much to say about this matchup. I'm going to tell you exactly how my thought process went with doing this game today. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. This is the warm-up, man. This is the warm-up for tomorrow. In case you don't know, the Sixers will play the Boston Celtics tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern. Obviously, we will be here live streaming that, pregame, live game, and postgame. And like I said, we're going to be streaming a lot of playoff games. This week, I'll be honest with you all, I'm probably not going to be streaming a ton of extra games just because I cover the Eagles as well. So I have NFL draft stuff to do this week. The draft is on Thursday, Friday, etc. And also the Sixers play the Celtics. I didn't know if the Sixers would actually make the first round or not. So we have those streams. I have a ton of draft stuff to do. All that to say, I wasn't actually going to stream this game today. But I was sitting there chilling. I was trying to get some rest up. Because again, you know, we're about to be on the playoff grind. And the reason I wasn't going to do this game today is because tomorrow's game is early as heck. I'm not really thrilled about the 1 p.m. game, but it is what it is. And you know how the back-to-backs get. But I was sitting there, and I've been watching hoops all day. And I was thinking, man, my community shows up for me. So I have to show up for them. And plus, I thought it would be fun to watch another Eastern Conference matchup, talk some hoops, and just kind of get some more hype going into tomorrow. Listen, if you haven't checked out all the pregame and preview stuff that I've done the last couple days, definitely check it out. We put out a full Sixers Celtics preview video up on the channel yesterday. We've had a ton of shorts going out, a ton of comparison graphics. All that is on the other socials as well. So make sure you follow us everywhere. Like I said, it's been a grind the last couple of days. You know, I didn't know going into Wednesday, I didn't know if the Sixers were going to play on Friday or not. So luckily we got a couple extra days. But yeah, I've just been like really in the weeds, like studying this series and, breaking it down. So, like I said, I'm kind of tanked a little bit, but once tomorrow happens, once I wake up and I'm ready to go, maybe get a little caffeine in me, the adrenaline's going to be kicking. And I'm going into the series with no expectations, so maybe I just feel a little bit better because of that. Like, I feel like my nerves actually aren't that out of control like they usually are going into a playoff series. I don't know. How do you feel? What is your pulse, Sixer Nation, in the chat on Sixers Celtics? Like, where are you at? How do you feel about it? Yeah, I'm not really, like, that worried about the series because I don't have a lot of expectations. I think I'm just kind of tanked because, like I said, it's been a heavy grind with the playing game and all that this week. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. So we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm looking forward to watching some good hoops tonight. I did watch both games today so far. We'll talk about that. I'll talk about what I'm seeing. And then we'll talk about Sixers Celtics as well while we watch this game. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Rose, what's going on? Says great commentary. Thank you so much. Cool J, what's going on? Busy Bee in the house. Thank you for being here. Electric, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. RJ says, do not stream other games while we're in the playoffs. It's bad freaking luck. I mean, come on, RJ. Come on, bro. What does that even mean, dude? We're trying to grow the channel, man. We're trying to grow the platform, and I told you from the jump we're going to be streaming other playoff games, so it shouldn't be a surprise. It's what we do, man. It's what we do. I've given my thoughts on the Sixers series, man. You know where I stand. If you haven't watched the preview video or anything else yet, go watch that tonight when you're up thinking about why you can't sleep. But how do you guys feel about this series, man? Hawks and Knicks. I did put out my predictions today. I'm going to read them off to you here. And I want to know if you agree or disagree with my picks. I want to know who you guys are picking in all of the series. So give me some thoughts down below. Here are my first round predictions. So I have Cavs over Raptors in 6. Pistons over Magic in 5. By the way, I did not watch that game last night, but I did see the score. I was checking my phone. I'm like, hold up. The Magic did what to the Hornets? I actually tweeted that out. The Magic did what? Dang, man, the Hornets took a fat L. But anyway, Pistons over Magic in 5. I got the Hawks over the Knicks in 7. Hawks over Knicks in 7. Celtics over Sixers in 5. Thunder over Suns in 4. Rockets over Lakers in 6. Nuggets over Timberwolves in 6. And Spurs over the Blazers in 5. Those are my predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, which ones do you agree with? Which ones do you disagree with? It's funny, I'm actually looking at the tweet right now. I'm looking at a couple of these top comments. Someone said, how are you a Sixers fan and don't even have faith in your team? Listen, man, there's a difference between having faith in my team and being realistic. I want the Sixers to win more than anything, but I'm not going to sit here and try to have blind faith. You know what I mean? It is what it is. That's kind of how it goes. Now, if Joel Embiid comes back in the series and turns into Superman somehow and returns from appendicitis, then yeah, I might actually pick the Sixers to win the series. But without Joel Embiid, I don't see a way that it happens, you know? I do think the games will be entertaining, but I don't think the Sixers can beat Boston without Joel. So that's where I'm at, man. But what do you guys agree with, disagree with? In terms of this series, listen, the reason I'm picking the Hawks over the Knicks in 7, I told you guys this a couple weeks ago, but I don't think that the Eastern Conference is going to shape out exactly like we all expect it to. Like, obviously, the second and the third round matchups are really going to be the cream of the crop, but I do feel a couple upsets coming in round 1. And when I look at the Atlanta Hawks, they had what, like a 12 or 13 game winning streak like a month ago. And I know people are like, well, they just played bad teams. That is true. Most of those teams were bad teams, but you start to build confidence. And in the second half of the season, the Hawks are playing some of the best basketball. Jalen Johnson has really emerged, especially after the Trae Young trade. They get Jonathan Kuminga, who's been pretty good for them. They get Corey Kispert. They get CJ McCollum. I'm not saying the Hawks are the better roster. I do not think that whatsoever. but something just tells me that the Hawks are a team that can pull off an upset. Obviously, I would love if it came at the expense of the New York Knicks. Sure, I don't want to see them win, but I'm going to tell you my honest truth. I mean, the Knicks should win this series, but I just feel for some reason that there's going to be one clear upset in the first round, and I just think it's going to be the Atlanta Hawks. Does that make sense? I mean, the Hawks are athletic. They are fast. They're lengthy. They can switch on defense. They got guys like Dyson Daniels, who you probably forgot about, who kind of fell out of the mix this year. But they have some really good on-ball defenders. And, yeah, I just like what they're building. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I was just looking at a stat here on the Prime broadcast. By the way, somebody said, what channel is this on? This is on Amazon Prime. A lot of the games are on Prime. Let's go. Yeah, I just saw a stat here that said Nickeil Alexander-Walker had the biggest jump in points per game by any player this entire season. Like, they just added some really good depth pieces. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good series. I really do. I also saw a report, I think it was today. Someone said that apparently the Knicks are having like a little bit of locker room turmoil. Like, some people don't believe in Mike Brown as the coach. So I don't know. That kind of struck me weird too. That's kind of influencing me. The Knicks, like I said, are the better team. They should win this series, but something just tells me the Hawks, even if they don't win, are going to make it a tough one. Kind of like last year. It kind of reminds me of like the Knicks Pistons feel. We were streaming a couple games last year where the Pistons just really made it tough for the Knicks. I could see the same thing happening on this one. All right, what else do I want to say? The Knicks are obviously favorites in the series. They're favorites tonight. Will be interesting to see how this game gets refereed with Jalen Brunson and all these guys. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The only thing that I want to say, actually, now that I think about it, a couple weeks ago, I said the Hawks could be the team to make the Eastern Conference Finals run. Like, they could surpass Detroit. However, because of the last game of the season where the Hawks fell to the 6th seed, I no longer think that is possible. I thought the Hawks were going to get to the conference finals by being the 5 seed. I thought they were going to take out the Cavaliers first and then take out Detroit. But now, to get to the conference finals, the Hawks would have to beat the Knicks and then probably the Celtics. So I no longer think they're going to get to the conference finals. I do think it'll be Detroit and Boston. But I'm not saying the Hawks can't make it hard. You know, Tyrese Halliburton was on an interview yesterday. He said the Hawks could be this year's Pacers. Like, they just really grind it out. So we'll see how this series goes, man. Welcome into the show. Once again, brought to you by National University, powered by the Prize Picks app. $5 Super Chat. AP says, Hawks in 7. Let's go. Absolutely not. They haven't played a playoff game in their lives. What up, RB? I got the merch. Let's go, New York. AP, thank you for copping some merch, man. Appreciate you for being a supporter of the show. AP, you're the man. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you for supporting the show, getting some merch. So what's your prediction, AP? What's your prediction? AP, $5 Super Chat says, Charlotte was also a big power team. Now they're home because they don't know what primetime is like. Experience matters. I do agree with you. Experience does matter. I would argue with you in terms of last season, AP. Detroit didn't have any experience, and they took New York to the brink. Like, they made that series very hard. So I just think that it's going to be a battle in this series. That's my overall thoughts. Yeah, that's where I'm at. But we can agree to disagree, man. Like I said, the Knicks should win the series, but we'll see. I'm going with the upset. We'll shout out some more people in just a second. Jalen Brunson on the first possessions finds Bridges. Bridges a 3. That's off. There's another reason I like the Atlanta Hawks, because Mikal Bridges has pretty much fallen into mediocrity. And I like Mikal Bridges, but he just has not lived up to the hype. And I think if the Knicks don't win this season, their window is definitely closing. Jalen Johnson drives, goes up with it, and missed it short. Knicks have the board, wearing the white jerseys tonight. Here in Game 1, the Hawks rocking the black jerseys. Here's Mikal Bridges posting up against McCollum. He's going to turn to his left, fades away, and gets it to go. First one is good for the New York Knicks. All righty. Welcome into the show. We'll give some shout outs here in just a second. And Jalen Johnson going downhill and throws down the hammer. Starting 5 tonight, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and for the Hawks, Dyson Daniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jalen Johnson, CJ McCollum, and Onyeka Okongwu. Here are the New York Knicks. Game knotted at 2. Karl Anthony Towns. Going to be interesting to see how he plays beyond the perimeter in this series. Finds a cutting Brunson, floats it high into the air, and comes down into the basket. So the Knicks jump ahead. NZ, what's going on, man? I've been rehearsing Kata offensive rebounds turning into Hauser threes in my head so I don't crash out tomorrow. NZ, did you see my preview video, man? I actually talked about that point. Exactly. That was one of my main keys for the series. Yeah, I'm going in with like no expectations, man, because I don't want to be scarred. I don't want to be scarred. Here's a 3 from Brunson, and he gets it to go. Knicks take a 3-point lead after the Hawks' response. Yeah, rebounds are going to be so huge in the Sixers-Celtics series. Really, in the playoffs, they're huge. Here's Alexander-Walker. Gets it to go from the mid-range. 7-6 is our score. A lot of offense to begin. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. If you're in here right now, get us to 100 likes so we can wake up the neighbors. Karl Anthony Towns finds a cutting Anunoby. It's poked away by Alexander-Walker. Here comes Daniels. Kicks it out to the wing. McCollum for the lead. It's going. CJ McCollum gives the Hawks their first lead of the game. Here are the New York Knicks. It's Karl Anthony Towns. Towns finds a cutting Brunson. He threw it too far ahead, and it's turned over out of bounds. But yeah, man, so in terms of the Boston Celtics, I mean, I talked about my main keys on my video, but yeah, rebounds is going to be huge. Coaching is going to be huge. Guarding the actual three-point line, something the Sixers have not done all season long. Just the main things we've talked about all season, and it's going to come back to rear its ugly head. And there's Dyson Daniels with a reverse lay. He gives the Atlanta Hawks a 4-point lead. Here's Karl Anthony Towns. Both teams locked in to begin. Here's Jalen Brunson at the wing. Brunson against Alexander-Walker. Here's Brunson going to post up. Brunson going to post up. He's going to turn. Now fade away. Brunson gets it to go off the glass. Guys, by the way, give me your game 1 predictions here in the chat. I forgot to ask about those. Give me your game 1 predictions. Who do you think's going to win tonight, and what is the final score? Here's Dyson Daniels going to kick back to Okongwu, dribbles it off his foot, and here come the New York Knicks. Brunson up the floor. Brunson for 3. It's good. Jalen Brunson in stride. He's off to a hot start. Give him 10 out of the first 12. Here's McCollum a step back 2. He's going to respond, and the Hawks take the lead 13-12. Here are the New York Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns at the top. He's guarded by Okongwu. He's going to find Josh Hart. Now Brunson. Brunson going to post up. Now he's going to jab, pull it up, and got it to go again. Brunson is on an absolute heater here in quarter 1. Jalen Brunson is on it here to begin this game. 12 points already. McCollum can't knock down the 3. And here come the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson up the floor, guarded by Daniels. He's going to cross over. Brunson behind the back. Towns finds Hart. Kicks the Bridges. Wide open corner 3. No dip. And knocks it down. New York Knicks take a 4-point lead. It is 17-13. Big start for Jalen Brunson. He is on fire. Atlanta really plays without a center, says Busy. They do. I mean, Okongwu is more of a forward, to be honest. AP says Detroit beat us in the regular season last year. Playoffs is what counts. You are right. Playoffs is what counts. Listen, I had to pick an upset in the first round. I had to pick one. That's my thoughts. Busy Beast says 117-114 Knicks tonight. Brunson with 28. Guys, give me your final game 1 predictions. Drop them in the chat right now. Game 1 predictions. Who do you guys have winning this game, and what is the final score, and who's going to lead the game in scoring? Give me your thoughts. Yeah, Brunson's off to a great start. Matter of fact, let me look at read out a couple things real quick. Yeah, so the only injury in this game or this series so far is Jock Landale. I don't know if he's actually going to play this series. He has a right ankle sprain. I know he got reevaluated. They said he was still out. But yeah, no, it is interesting, man. Like, you look at this series, the Knicks are 3rd in offensive rating, and they are 7th in defensive rating. So they're one of 4 teams this year that are top 10 offensive and defensive rating. The Atlanta Hawks are 14th in offensive rating, and they are 9th in defensive rating. So the Hawks have had a really good second half of the season. Forget what their record is, but they finished off the season very strong. And yeah, I mean, look at these two teams. Again, do I think Jalen Johnson is a number 1 right now? A couple months ago, I would have said no. I still don't think he's a clear-cut number 1, but I think he's a really good, like, 1B, maybe a 2A. So, you know, he's got to be magnificent in this series, but it's not only scoring. You know, he also averages 10 rebounds a game, almost 8 assists. So he's put up some really good numbers this year overall. Pretty decent defender as well. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, like I said, has been that other go-to scoring punch. And then you have CJ McCollum. So Hawks did get rid of Kristaps Porzingis. Forgot about him. But yeah, Okongwu's their starting 5, but I feel like he's more of a 4 anyway. And then they have Jonathan Kuminga. And Landale being hurt in this series is actually really huge. Yeah, they don't really have much guard or much center depth, to be honest. So the way the Hawks have to win this series, honestly, is just kind of like they just have to be speedy and athletic. You know, they got to get a lot of transition buckets. Whereas the Knicks are going to slow it down in the half court. They're going to run that 2-man game. They're going to run Brunson, pop it out the cat. And, yeah, it's going to come down to whether the New York Knicks can hit their threes in this series. They are 4th in the league in three-point percentage. The Hawks are 5th. So should be a battle in terms of shooting a rock. But, yeah, man. Where do the Hawks rank in rebounding? Let's see. They're 18th, and the Knicks are 7th. Hawks are 1st in the league in assists, though. So, like I said, they move the ball a lot. They get at it in transition. That's kind of what I'm looking for in this series. I think it'll be a close game. I'm going 111-108 Knicks, Brunson 29, Cat 23. We might get a JJ Masterclass not this early, says Cool J. Come on, bro. Don't hate. We're going to win in 4. You guys got to stop using the term hate, bro. There's such a clear difference between hate and analysis. Here's Alexander Walker going to drive, spin, and kick. Dyson Daniels from the wing. That one is short. Mikal Bridges is going to find Jalen Brunson almost halfway through the first. Bridges driving downhill, gathers all the way with the left hand. Got it with the bounce and the roll. Knicks lead it by 6. Here's Atlanta going to drive and kick. Jalen Johnson, top of the arc, and drills it. Big 3 for Jalen Johnson. Talk about a crazy career trajectory. Still very young, but had that season-ending injury last year, and they gave him that contract before last year, and he has just been constantly getting better. There's Jalen Brunson, contested 2, knocks it down. Jalen Johnson, only 24 years old. He's been in the league now for 5 seasons, and it's just gotten better and better and better. Here's the floater. That one is short for Walker. I mean, Johnson's rookie year, he averaged 2 points a game. Only played in 22. That's crazy, man. That really is wild to me. Here's Cat going to find Josh Hart. Hart going to drive downhill, turns and spins. Hart falling out of bounds, throws it away, and Daniels could not scoop it in. Dyson Daniels also got a big payday before this season. He's kind of taking a step back, but he was special defensively last year. All right, what are your guys' series predictions? I forgot to ask those as well. What is your series prediction for this series? Let me know in the chat. Here's the inbound to Josh Hart under the rim, and it's taken away. It's Gabe Vincent, the longtime NBA vet, formerly of the Heat and the Lakers. He was involved in the trade at the deadline, and Atlanta can't capitalize on the quick three. Here is Jalen Brunson now. Brunson is on absolute fire. He's got 15 in the first. And when Brunson's playing like this, it's hard to beat New York. Tapped out of bounds by Johnson. Like I said, I've always had this dilemma because, you know, I'm a Villanova basketball fan and I've loved all my Nova guys, but seeing them all come to New York, it's just tough to watch them play. And look, Brunson is a foul baiter. He's one of the biggest, but he's a really good player, you know? He doesn't have to do the flailing and the whining and the jump backwards off the dribble. Like, he can score buckets. But, yeah, Cat gets blocked at the rim. He's had a very much up and down season. Here's Jalen Johnson posting up Jalen Brunson. Jalen Johnson going to turn, float it up, can't get it. Tries to get his own board, tapping it around, and it goes back to New York. 6-point game. And then Josh Hart turns it over. Here come the Atlanta Hawks. Johnson wide open top of the arc and drills it. Jalen Johnson with another big-time shot. He's got back-to-back triples, and all of a sudden, it is a 3-point game. Clint in the chat, what's up, bro? Channel member says, just got home from work. Want to say thanks for the extra game coverage. You rock, buddy. Local depressed Sixers fan, RB, what's the chances of Embiid coming back in the Sixers-Celtics series? I would say 10 to 15%. Really only because Joel has proven to be Superman at a lot of times, but, I mean, it's, you know, the average time of recovery to come back has been like a month. So, personally, I don't see a way. I don't really see a way, to be honest, that he's going to come back. This is my personal take. What do you guys think, though? What do you guys think? I really hope he does, though. But anyway, man, welcome on in once again. NBA playoff, game day live. We are streaming a ton of playoff games. Like I said, this week's going to be a bit light because, you know, I got the draft to cover for the NFL. Plus, we have Sixers and Celtics. But especially if the Sixers don't make it past the first round, we'll be streaming a lot of games going forward after that. So definitely make sure you guys turn on noties if you want to be in these streams and watch this content. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be interesting, man. Quick turnaround after tonight, 1 p.m. Eastern for the Sixers tomorrow. First of 4 games. Man, it would be crazy if the Sixers could steal game 1 tomorrow. I mean, again, the Sixers have played well in Boston this year, but playoffs are different, man. Playoffs are different. I did drop a full preview video, so make sure you check that out tonight if you haven't yet. But yeah, man, I'm not expecting too much. I'm going in with low expectations, and we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm not going to sit up here and try to give people blind faith and false hope. I just tell you how I feel, and that's where we go. Let's see. Knicks in 6. Knicks in 6. Pistons in 5. Cavs in 7. Smiley, what's going on? Riaz, what's going on, bro? Thanks for being up in here, man. If the Celtics do win, I have them winning in 7. Riaz says, I went to the Cavs-Raptors game. Both teams are not going far. I mean, I watched that game today. I thought the Cavs played pretty well. They're definitely overpowering the Raptors. The Raptors kind of looked like I expected them to look. You know, they just came out a little bit underwhelming. And, yeah, they're just, I just don't think the Raptors are that good. But I don't think the Cavs are like, you know, going to the conference finals or anything. I'd be surprised if that happened, to be honest. Imagine how we will all feel if they take game 1 tomorrow against the Celtics. Reyes, I hear you, bro, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm just being completely honest with you guys. I don't see a reason to get our hopes up. I think we should just go in with a free mindset and see how it plays out. Towns going to find Bridges. Bridges pulls up, but it's going to be an illegal screen on Karl Anthony Towns, so it's going back the other way. Hawks building some momentum, back-to-back Jalen Johnson threes. Guys, we got 110 people in here. Do me a favor, get us to 100 likes. We do a ton of different streaming. We'll be here for every Sixers game this week and some others as well. So make sure you like the show, subscribe to the channel. And now we have a foul on the other side. It's going to be on Mikal Bridges. His first of the game. He didn't like the call. RB, we can play loose with house money. That's how they should be approaching it, honestly. You got to just go out there and do your best. They're not going to be favorited probably in any game to win the series. So that's just kind of how it is. Here's the inbound. Jalen Johnson. Johnson guarded by Joshua Hart. He's going to drive downhill, kicks it out to Daniels. Daniels going to turn the corner, floats it up from 10 feet, and that was way off. Picked up by New York. Here comes Jalen Brunson. He's had a big first quarter. He drives against Vincent, floats it up, just missed it. Mitchell Robinson is in for the first time. Knicks going with the double bigs. Here's Jalen Johnson going to find Okongwu. Okongwu through 2, and he is fouled. He's headed to the stripe. Who's going to be here tomorrow, man? Who's going to be here? Sixers Celtics game 1. It's going to be a fun one, man. Thunder and Suns are the second game. Pistons and Magic are the third. And then the Spurs get the final game of the night tomorrow. Sixers schedule, it'll be tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern. Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern. And then Friday at 7. And then next Sunday will be game 4. So see what happens, man. Plus the NFL draft this week, like I said. So I'll be bouncing all around, man. We shall see how it plays out. But yeah, man. Like I said, I wasn't going to stream a game tonight because of the early game tomorrow, but I just figured I would come hang out with all of you, man, and just have some fun and watch one of these games together. Cleveland isn't that good to sweep anyone, says Reyes. I don't think they're going to sweep them. My prediction was Cavs in 6. Free throws good for Atlanta. It's a 1-point game. 3:45 to go here in the first. Here is Mitchell Robinson. Now it's OG Anunoby. Anunoby at the top. He's going to find Jalen Brunson. Brunson coming around a high screen. Brunson against Walker. Drives into the paint. Brunson nowhere to go. Turns on a pivot. 2 on the shot clock. Fades away. Misses everything. And the Hawks get it back. Jonathan Kuminga in for the first time. His Golden State Warriors went down yesterday in the second play-in. And Kuminga's got some fresh life here in the ATL. And there goes Okongwu with an easy drive and lay at the rim. So the Hawks have the lead once again. Telling you guys right now, man, this is going to be a tough series. Here's Landry Shamet in for the first time for New York. The journeyman, once drafted by the 76ers, included in the Tobias Harris trade. Here's a 3-ball from McBride in for the first time, and that one's short. Hawks pick it up. I do think the Hawks have some pretty good depth. I'm not going to lie. With Corey Kispert and Jonathan Kuminga, they're definitely struggling at the center position, though. Kuminga floats it up. That one's short. Tell you what, though, man. Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, I've been listening to some of what the New York media has been saying about him. It has not been pretty this year, I'll tell you that. And I actually like Cat as a player. If I was the Minnesota Timberwolves, by the way, did the Timberwolves lose that game? I'm guessing they did, right? Yeah, the Nuggets won game 1. I was watching the Timberwolves Nuggets before this, but if I was Minnesota, man, I would have never traded Karl Anthony Towns. I would have traded Rudy Gobert. I think Cat is better than Rudy. I like Cat. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. You let me know what the problem is in New York. I mean, he's not playing like himself, you know? Feels like you got too many guys that are kind of like, I don't want to say one-dimensional, but you're trying to like, what's the best way to put it? You're trying to like squeeze something together that doesn't really fit. You know what I mean? Trying to put a square peg into a round hole, kind of. Like, Mikal Bridges, you know, you take him off the ball a lot, you let him roam around, he's not as effective. You have Cat just primarily being like a pick and pop guy. Like, he's got to be able to do more with the ball. And I just don't know if it fits their play style, kind of. Fadeaway is off for the Atlanta Hawks. It's a 1-point game. Here's Jalen Brunson. Brunson at the top, dribbling against Kuminga. He's going to drive, turn, and spin. Brunson, Anunoby. Anunoby driving downhill against Vincent, goes up and uses that power to drive through, and the Knicks have a 3-point lead. 2 minutes to go here in the first. Zachary Riza-Shea, former #1 overall pick from last year, is in the game now. He got benched this season, had a bit of a regression year. Here's Riza-Shea under the rim, goes up and can't get it, but he grabs his own board, floats it up, and misses again. 0 of 2 right around the cup. Tough miss, and here come the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson at the wing, one-on-one. He's guarded by Mohamed Gay, drives right in and blows by him. Jalen Brunson with an impressive first quarter. He's up to 17 points now. Here's Jonathan Kuminga at the top. He's going to chuck a deep three. That one's off the mark. Riza-Shea picks it up. Both of these teams very good in shooting the three ball. Here's a corner three. That one is off, and the Knicks pick it up. They lead by 5. Here comes McBride in transition from the wing. A 3. It's way off. Guys, drop a fire if you're in the chat right now, and get this up to 100 likes, man. I know we're going to be pissing off the neighbors tomorrow afternoon, but we got to give them a little rude awakening. You know what I mean? Anyway, once again, welcome in. If you are just tuning in, thanks so much for being here. I'm RB. Obviously, we cover the Sixers every game, but we have a big NBA community, a lot of other fans that tune in, so we're going to be streaming a ton of playoff games. If you are going to be here rocking with us throughout the playoffs, drop a fire in the chat so we can shout you out. We have trivia coming up here in just a minute. And if you have any questions for me, maybe you have a question about the Sixers-Celtics series, maybe you want to know something about the playoffs or whatever else, drop it in the chat, and I'll be glad to answer it. Also, I'm going to drop my link tree in here. Make sure you follow us everywhere. We've been dropping exclusive content on all of our socials. For example, I did a short yesterday, or 2 days ago, talking about the Luka Doncic, Cade Cunningham 65 game thing. You know, how they were pretty much allowed to get awards now. That's just one example, but, you know, we're doing other content as well. Kuminga, did he go 0 of 2? No, I think he went 1 of 2. But yeah, you guys can click that link, and then it'll take you to all the socials, and you can follow us everywhere. All right, man, let's see who we got up in the chat. Cable, what's going on, brother? Clint in the chat. Busy in the house. BLSG. Riaz in the chat. All our day one diehards. Big Rud, what's up, bro? Charles, what's up, bro? Who else we got up in here? I don't know. What did it say? Complete BS says busy. 4-point game. 40 seconds to go. Here's Jalen Brunson, guarded by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's going to cross over to the right, now to the left. Now he's going to spin, dribble, and drive. Brunson goes up with it and missed it. Hawks pick it up. Here they come. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Going to dribble, drive, and kick. Here's Kuminga, back to Walker. Now Kuminga. He's at the wing, one-on-one. He's got Brunson. Trying to take him off the dribble. Goes up, can't get it to fall. Kuminga looking for the foul. He should be focused on trying to knock down the shot. 5 seconds to go. Here's Brunson turning the corner and drives. Brunson high in the air. Got it to go. And he puts the full court heave. No good. He puts the bow on an unbelievable 19-point first quarter. 19 out of the 30 points coming from Jalen Brunson. Fantastic quarter. What a way to start the series. If he plays like that, it's going to be hard to beat the New York Knicks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our favorite segment here at the end of the first quarter. You know what it is. It's the playoffs, and we're still rocking and rolling. It's the NBA Scholars Trivia here in the playoffs. You know the drill. I'm going to say the question first, then I'll put it in the chat. Only one guess permitted. And we'll do this for bragging rights. The prize is done, but we're still having fun, keeping up the segment because it's our favorite. And yeah, people love it. So we're going to see who can get this trivia question. So get those keyboards ready. And we got some good NBA trivia for you guys. All right, here we go, man. NBA Scholars Trivia presented by our great friends at National University. Here we go. The question is, 3 NBA franchises have recorded 250 or more playoff wins in their history. I am looking for 2 of them. Name 2 of the 3 franchises that have recorded 250 or more playoff wins in their history. There are 3 answers. I'm looking for 2 of them. It's going to go quick, so get those answers in, man. Once again, 3 NBA franchises have recorded 250 or more playoff wins. I am looking for, 3 franchises have recorded 250 or more. I'm looking for 2 of the answers. Give you guys a good 20, 30 more seconds while y'all are doing that. Make sure you like the show. We're at 67 likes. Get us to 100. We'll be streaming a ton of playoff games, and we'll be hanging out, man. $15 more seconds. Get those guesses in. If you have any last second guesses or you haven't guessed yet, go ahead and throw a guess in there. All right, let's go to the chat, man. Once again, the question for the NBA Scholars Trivia question is, 3 NBA franchises have recorded 250 or more playoff wins in their history. I'm looking for 2 answers, 2 out of the 3. So answer number 1, with 466 playoff wins, is the Los Angeles Lakers. That's a pretty easy one. Answer number 2 is the Boston Celtics with 429 playoff wins. And guess who's third, man? With 250 wins, it is your Philadelphia 76ers. Those are the 3 possible guesses, and we had a ton of people chime in with the answer right away, but the first person before everybody else is our guy, Liv Smiley, and he's going to have back-to-back correct trivia questions just by a split second. Smiley, congratulations. He says Celtics and Lakers. So he got it first. Busy B was just right behind him at second. Charles was third. Jerry was fourth. Here's the drive and the kick. Alexander Walker a 3. No good. Anunoby the rebound. So Smiley has now gotten 2 out of our 3 NBA playoff questions so far. Shout out to Smiley. He's got the bragging rights right now. Here's Deuce McBride at the top, coming around a Robinson screen. He's going to drive downhill, step back. McBride turns and kicks. Anunoby from the wing. Can't get it to go. Shamet tracks down the offensive rebound. Here's McBride up to Shamet. Shamet a 3, and he drills it. New York Knicks taking a sizable lead now. They're up by 9. Here's Vincent, going to find Walker. Drives downhill, floats it up. Blocked by Robinson. Anunoby down the other end, lays it up, misses it, and the Hawks watch Jordan Clarkson in for the first time put it back. So a 13-1 run for the Knicks, and they are running away right now. McCollum a 3, and he stops the run. Thank you all for playing NBA Scholars Trivia, presented by National University. So yeah, it's the Celtics, the Lakers, the Lakers, Celtics, and then the Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers have been around for a while, man. Ball poked away, going to stay with New York. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. How are we feeling? How's everybody feeling, man? For all my Sixers fans in here, are we ready for tomorrow afternoon? Are you guys ready for that? By the way, the Philadelphia Flyers are in a playoff game tonight for the first time in years. Shout out to the Flyers. CJ McCollum going to dribble, go through the legs, kicks it back. Here's Okongwu, going to drive, passed up a three. Now Alexander Walker, he's got it with the left hand, going to cross to the right, dribbles, drives downhill, kicks it out. Okongwu finds McCollum. McCollum going to drive, floats it up. He's blocked by Robinson. Robinson making a huge impact on the defensive end. Okongwu is a liability. This guy cannot, he's not even looking at the basket. Here's Mitchell Robinson going to cross over, find McBride. McBride cross through the legs, drives and kicks. Here's Anunoby thinking, puts his shoulder into Kuminga, now swipes the other way, floats it up, and gets the three to go. What a shot by Anunoby. Alexander Walker down the other end gets the blocking foul on Shamet, and he's headed to the line for two. 170 people in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button, ladies and gentlemen. Get us to 100 likes. Thank you for being here. Once again, shout out to Smiley. Thank you for being here. And Lou, what's up, bro? Shout out to our actual regular season trivia champ, Lou World, who will have a prize coming his way pretty soon. Guys, I really just appreciate y'all being in here tonight, man, hanging out with me. Like I said, we're just going to be chilling, hoping this game doesn't go into overtime. We streamed on Tuesday night, Charlotte Hornets versus Miami Heat, the night before the Sixers playing, and it went to overtime. And honestly, it was a tiring game, man. So I'm not looking for an overtime game tonight. Hopefully this one ends at the end of the fourth, but we'll see. Do you see Justin Edwards being a contributing factor off the bench? I don't think he's going to play at all. I don't think he's going to play a minute. I mean, honestly, Nurse has to have a quick leash. Here's Anunoby driving the lane, tries to throw it down two hands. I think they called a foul. So Anunoby's going to go to the stripe for two. I think Nurse has to have a quick leash on guys like Quentin Grimes and Adem Bona, but will he? I don't know. They should play Justin Edwards, though. Absolutely. I mean, the Celtics are going to play guys that you probably have never heard of tomorrow. And you're going to be like, who are these guys? And they're going to be the best 3-and-D players you've ever seen. First one at the line, good for Anunoby. Once again, guys, if you haven't checked out my official preview prediction video, definitely give that a check later tonight. If you're hanging out, wondering what to do, definitely check that out. So the free throws are good for New York. It is an 11-point game. Here's Jalen Johnson going to drive, turn, and spin, kicks it out. Here's Okongwu, contested three, gets it to go. Finally, he took one from beyond the arc. They needed that. But yeah, I spent the last couple days just doing a ton of research about the Sixers and the Celtics series, and I looked at, like, literally, I think every stat possible, and maybe I'm a psycho, just ridiculous. Maybe I need help, but I went back and I watched some of the 23 series. I don't know why I did that to myself. And I just kept coming away with the thought of, man, like, Sixers blew a golden opportunity, man. Sixers blew a golden opportunity, but yeah, Joe Mazzulla is a great coach. He really is. Another bucket goes for the New York Knicks, courtesy of Clarkson. It's a 10-point lead. Here's McCollum at the top, guarded by McBride. He's getting taken off the dribble. McBride's right in his grill. Great defense. Here's McCollum going downhill. He turns, he spins. McCollum all the way, reverse layup, and wow, what a finish. What a finish. First off, he was getting pressed near the logo. Just to get to the basket was incredible there. But that just shows the long-time experience of a vet like CJ McCollum. But yeah, man, 2023, that was the Sixers' chance. High arcing float for Shaman is no good. Robinson tried to get it but could not collect. And it's going to be Hawks basketball. Wow, well, look at the English on that reverse layup by McCollum. Yeah, we were streaming the Sixers-Celtics series here on this channel, and man, that was disappointing. I mean, the Sixers had the game 1 and game 6 with like 2 minutes to go, and they blew that, and then they got obliterated in game 7. And it feels like that was the final dagger, you know? Like that was the opportunity, but how do you guys feel, man? Give me some thoughts in the chat. Here's Alexander Walker going to find a cutting Okongwu, and he yams it down with 2 hands. So just when I start, maybe the RB thing works on different teams as well. As soon as I started talking about Okongwu, and I called him a liability, he's now had 2 big buckets in a row. Here's Joshua Hart into the mid-range. He's going to turn, fade away, knocks it down. Tell you what, man, if the Sixers played the Knicks, Josh Hart would shoot like 85% from 3. Simple as that. Now we have a foul. 44-36 is the score. 160 in the house. Do me a favor, like the show, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what series you guys want me to stream. If you want to see any other games as well, do what we can. It's going to be interesting, man. Iwan says, could be all 10-plus point wins today. Maybe. Both of the first couple games were close at halftime, and then in the second half, they just kind of got separated. Here's Jalen Johnson. Johnson going to find Daniels. He turns and he kicks, finds Muhammad Gay, spots up for 3, can't knock it down. Knicks have the board. And here comes Joshua Hart going downhill, full head of steam against Johnson, takes him to the rim, couldn't get the finish. Here come the Hawks on the break. Kuminga drives all the way, lays it in. That's where the Hawks really have to capitalize. Matter of fact, that's where the Sixers have to capitalize. They have to capitalize in the fast break against Boston, where Boston is the slowest team in the NBA, but in the half court, they're probably the best execution team there is. Celtics are phenomenal in the half court, but they play slow running up the floor. Maxey and VJ are going to have to be lightning speed as McBride misses the floater, and then Cat just wrapped up Kuminga and took him down to the ground. Cat is holding his face. I don't know what the heck just happened. Cat is holding his face. Let's see what happened here. Looked like Cat got elbowed. I don't know. That was kind of weird, man. Cat took an inadvertent elbow to the face, and then he kind of just stuck his arm out and, like, wrapped it around Kuminga to hold him in place. I don't know. That was weird. That was really weird to me, to be honest. That was really, really odd to me, to be honest. Do some reverse psychology on the Celtics and praise them. Maybe they'll end up playing poorly. We might have to do that. Estelle, what's going on? All right, guys, drop your final Sixers versus Celtics series predictions in the chat right now. I want to know what you think about Sixers and Celtics. How many games will that series go? Give me your honest takes. While we do that, and while we wait for this to come back from commercial, got to give a shout out to our great partners of the show over at Prize Picks. Ladies and gentlemen, download the Prize Picks app. The playoffs are finally here. We know this is where stars are made and every play counts. There's no better way to cash in if you're right on high-flying hoops action than with Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Every bucket, every dime, every win means more when you are playing on Prize Picks. You can build lineups with multiple sports in the same entry. You can pick all of the NBA games going on this weekend in the same entry. So cool. It's like a game with inside a game. And also, you got to check out their team picks markets where you can pick game winner spreads, totals as well, all on top of the player picks you already know. And with team picks, you can also pick who's going to win a certain series, who's going to win the finals, who's going to win the MVP and other awards as well. It's another way to pick the sports you love, all on Prize Picks. Team picks are now available in 35 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, Washington, and more. And Prize Picks also offers the really cool early payout feature. So even if one of your players in your parlay gets off to a hot start, you have the option to cash out the winnings before the game even finishes. Download the Prize Picks app today. Pick your first game winner spread or total. As the playoff push rolls on, get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you use the code CLNS when playing your first $5 lineup. Once again, use code CLNS, get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Big shout out to Prize Picks. What are you guys picking for tomorrow? Smiley says Sixers in 6. Cable says Celtics in 6. Busy says Celtics in 5. Lou World says Sixers in 6. I'm surprised that you guys are actually picking Sixers in 6. Is that more of your fanboy side or your, I really believe the Sixers are winning in 6 games? Especially without Joel, it's crazy. But that's just my take. I hope the Sixers win in 6. Tell you what, man, if the 76ers win that series and then they play the Knicks in the second round, that would be like, man, that would be a highly anticipated matchup. That would be sweet. Even though I would rather play the 1-4 teams in the second round, but it would still be fun for entertainment purposes. DM says Pistons in 5, Knicks in 6. Celtics in 6. Clint says, hate to say it, but Celtics in 5, never wanted to be more wrong. I hear you, man. I hear you. Listen, I'm also picking the Celtics in 5. I do think the Sixers will make the games entertaining, like they have been all season. I just don't think in the crunch time, the Sixers have enough to capitalize based on what we've seen all season. And Alexander Walker going to cut this down to a 3-point game. Tell you what, the Hawks do not go away. They are fighters. 46 wins this season. Not a lot compared to a 7 seed in the 76ers, but the Hawks had a magnificent second half of the season. They also beat the Sixers 4 times. They were like the kryptonite. Atlanta Hawks are going to make this a physical series. They're going to use their athleticism. Here's Josh Hart going to drive all the way to the rim, goes up and lays it in. Nice finish by Josh Hart. Here's Jalen Johnson at the top. He's guarded by Josh Hart. He's going to cross over. Johnson driving against 3 Knicks, goes up and left it a tad short. Bridges the rebound. Josh Hart has it. Here come the New York Knicks. Hart up the floor. He's at the wing. Hart guarded by Alexander Walker. Poked away by Daniels. Going to stay with New York. Where are we at now? We're at 90 likes. We're almost there, guys. We are almost there. Hit the thumbs up button. So I read out my predictions earlier. I'm going to read them out again here once we get another stoppage. And you guys let me know what you think. Let me know all of your series predictions in the comments right now. I want to know who you guys are picking in the first round. Here's Karl Anthony Towns. Had it poked away. He's getting locked up by Muhammad Gay. Karl Anthony Towns floats it up. Left it short. There's been a couple games this year where Cat has had like 1 shot attempt in the whole half. He's actually only 0 of 2 right now with 2 turnovers. McCollum a 3, and he drills it. 2-point game, ladies and gentlemen. Telling you, this is a series, man. What do you guys think about Karl Anthony Towns on the New York Knicks? Here he is driving to the lane. He goes up. He was knocked away, and it's going to be a foul, Muhammad Gay. Karl Anthony Towns is 0 of 2 tonight with 2 turnovers. Lou World says, I actually believe the Sixers are winning. I think Embiid comes back in game 3. Tell you what, Lou, like I said on my preview, if Embiid does come back, my prediction will definitely change. But I'm assuming that he's not going to come back. So here are my predictions for the first round. Whoa, hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. I might have to switch one of my predictions up already. Whoa. Guys, I was about to read my predictions out, right? And I just got a shams bomb as I was looking at the tweet. According to Shams Charania, Houston Rockets' Kevin Durant will miss game 1 against the Lakers tonight due to a right knee injury. Did I miss something, man? When did Kevin Durant get hurt? When did KD get hurt? think they're reviewing this for a flagrant. I don't know why, but yeah, when did Kevin Durant get hurt? My prediction was Rockets over Lakers in 6 because Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves are hurt. But if KD's not playing, that might change. That might change my prediction, to be honest. Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a tough series, or at least a tough game to watch tonight if you're staying up for that. If you're staying up for Rockets and Lakers, man, no KD, no Luka, and no Reeves, right? That's wild, man. So now Cat's going to the line, common foul. All right, so my predictions, once again, here are my series predictions. Number 1, Cavs over the Raptors in 6. Number 2, Pistons over the Magic in 5. Hawks over Knicks in 7. Celtics over Sixers in 5. Thunder over Suns in 4. Rockets over Lakers in 6. Nuggets over Wolves in 6. And Spurs over Blazers in 5. What do you guys think, man? Do you agree with those predictions or no? So Karl Anthony Towns is going to have his first 2 points of the game here after hitting these free throws. He's finally on the board with 4 minutes to go in the second. Floater is missed, but Mohamed Gay taps it back in. So it's a 2-point game now. Guys, when did Kevin Durant get hurt? Or did I miss something? Like, here's Jalen Brunson going to turn, find Bridges. Now Karl Anthony Towns, he's going to spin and drive, float it up, left it short. I was interested in watching Durant versus LeBron, but I guess not. Here's Kuminga. Kuminga up top to Daniels. Hawks looking to tie or take the lead. Daniels behind the back. He turns, he floats it up and left it short. Daniels really does not have an offensive bag. It's a shame because he's such a good defender. Here's Karl Anthony Towns. Can't get space. Throws it away. Yo, Cat is selling right now. It's his 3rd turnover of the first half. Here are the Atlanta Hawks. McCollum going to drive, floats it up, and in. It is a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. Yo. It is tied at 48. Here's Anunoby in the paint, and he slams it down on the roll. So the Knicks go back up by 2. Jalen Johnson for 3. That one is off. Knicks pick it up. 2-point lead for New York. First round, game number 1 between the 3rd and the 6th seed here in the East. Joshua Hart at the top, coming around a screen. He's going to find Jalen Brunson. Brunson guarded by Kuminga. He's going to take a screen from Cat. Cat trying to set one. Here's Brunson behind the back. Finds a pick and pop. The pump fake. The drive. Cat going all the way and yams it down. And then he screams to the crowd. Zesty Cat lets out a roar. Here comes Dyson Daniels. Daniels going to find Johnson. He's cooled off a bit here in the second. Johnson driving the lane. Goes up and fouled by Anunoby. So good ball movement there by Atlanta. 2 coming up. We got 100 likes in the chat. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, drop those yes sirs in the chat. Let's go. Finally, let's wake them up, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wake them up. Drop those yes sirs, baby. If you want to get the yes sir emoji, become a channel member. Hit the join button down below. Become a member before tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's going to be hype. Chat's going to get pretty big tomorrow. Mods, looking forward to having y'all in here, and definitely going to be reading the members' comments for sure. Neighbors are going to be pissed off tomorrow, but look, I'm just hoping for a competitive game tomorrow, man. I'm hoping it's a good game, and I feel like the Sixers are playing with house money, so I'm actually not as nervous about the game. Not really. I'm just looking forward for the Sixers to go in there and, you know, try to keep it close and pull off an upset at the end. They would definitely make a statement if they won tomorrow. Who else we got up in here, man? Dom, what's going on, Dom? What's up, Dom? Busy, what's up? Clint in the chat. Cable, Smiley, let's go. Estelle, what's up? Oh, yeah, that was the thought I was thinking that got interrupted by the injury stuff. But, yeah, shout out to the Philadelphia Flyers, man. I had somebody on Twitter ask me today, what's my analysis for the Flyers tonight? Look, I'm not the biggest hockey X's and O's guy. I did used to play hockey 2K back in the day, NHL 2K or whatever it was. My advice for the Flyers, go get a W. I'm hoping the Flyers can get a W. I know the whole city's flyered up or whatever, but come tomorrow, man, it's going to be Sixered up. Tomorrow's the Sixers day. Don't get embarrassed, Philly. Don't get embarrassed tomorrow. We're going to have fun regardless, bro. We're going to have fun regardless, man. Let's keep it going, man. Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. Let's go, guys. Once again, we're going to be streaming a ton of playoff games, especially later on in the playoffs. And, yeah, a lot of good streams coming up next month and a half. Looking forward to it. What are your guys' Flyers predictions? Flyer faithful, if you guys are in the chat, what is your final series prediction for the Flyers? Inform me. Educate me. So anyway, we are back here with a few minutes to go in the first half. The Atlanta Hawks keeping this very, very close. It looked at one point when they were down 11 or 13 like it was about to get out of hand, but they've just battled. They've really battled. Karl Anthony Towns having an awful game. Brunson had 19 in the first quarter and has had 0 since. Flyers in 6. Flyers in 6. Crosby is a Flyer killer, but his time is up. Dude, how old is Sidney Crosby? This guy's got to be like 40 years old, right? He's been in the NHL forever. Free throw is going to be good for Jalen Johnson. It's back to a 2-point ball game here in New York. Hawks trying to steal one here on the road in game 1. Jalen Brunson working against Okongwu. Here's Brunson going to pull up a mid-range, and he knocks it through. I got to stop reverse jinxing people that I don't want to reverse jinx. I'm always reverse jinxing people, man. Here's McCollum going to find Daniels, and it's poked away. Knicks have it again. 3-on-4. Here's Brunson in transition. Another 3, and that one's in and out. Knicks trying to get the rebound. Hart had it in his fingertips, but he stepped on the line, and it's going to be a turnover going back to Atlanta. We'll see if the New York Knicks can actually make it all the way. I mean, this is why they fired Tom Thibodeau and hired Mike Brown. If not, it's almost like, what do the Knicks do from here? I mean, their salary cap is so strapped with big contracts, they'd probably have to trade one of the pieces or maybe 2. Fadeaway's no good for Johnson. Here come the New York Knicks. Brunson high off the window, and he gets called for the foul. It's going to be on C.J. McCollum. So 2 free throws coming up for Jalen Brunson at the line. Now let me see what's going on here with Kevin Durant, because I did not even know he was dealing with an injury. Let's see if we have... Let's see. Source told ESPN that Durant sustained an injury during practice this week. The Rockets are optimistic his knee will not be a significant issue. Lakers are shorthanded, playing without Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. JJ Redick said that Doncic and Reeves are out indefinitely with no update. Kevin Durant out with a knee injury. I don't know. That's interesting, man. That looked like a really good series, and now it might be a mid-off. They really have that game in the late slot as well. McCollum going to drive, float it up, and in. So the free throws, 1 of 2 for Brunson. The floater good for McCollum. It's a 3-point game. We might have another cardiac game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Cat for 3, can't get it to fall. He is now 1 of 5 on the evening. The kitty cat is struggling. Here's CJ McCollum, one-on-one against OG Anunoby. Okongwu going to set the screen. Alexander Walker tried to roll, and the pass is intercepted. Cat up the floor. He throws it right back to the Hawks. Here's Alexander Walker. Going to take Cat off the dribble. Drives Cat with a monster block. He redeems himself from the turnover. Hart to Bridges, now Brunson. 50 seconds to go here in quarter 2. Joshua Hart up top to Brunson. McCollum guarding him one-on-one. Anunoby sitting on the wing. Hart going to roll baseline. Brunson takes a one-on-one ISO, and he drives, and it's plucked away. Nice hands by the vet. Brunson just threw it up from the ground. What was that? Daniels to... Is that Rizachet? No, it's Johnson. Wow, couple boneheaded possessions. You know, you kind of think like, oh, we're watching the playoffs. We're going to watch great basketball sometimes. And we're like, what the heck just happened? Brunson just threw up a hook shot from the ground under the basket, and then the Hawks had a 2-on-1 fast break, and they threw it off. Someone threw it off his shin, out of bounds. Here's Josh Hart going to drive and spin, turns, floats it up, can't get it. Cat gets the offensive rebound, puts his shoulder down, and draws the foul. Okongwu wants a review. Cat going to the line. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's play another fun game we like to play here in the second quarter. It is called Drop the Spot. Drop it like it's hot, man. I want to know where you are tuning in from tonight watching this live show. Give me your state, your city, your town, your country. Where are you watching this stream from tonight? Get active in the comments. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Get us up to 200 likes. Get us to 53K subs. First one good at the line for Cat. Phillies are also playing tonight. They've been, let's just say, a very interesting team. Honestly, I figured that the Phillies were going to have a season like this, man. And Cat going to knock down a pair at the line. 2 of 2. Puts the Knicks up by 5. 8 seconds to go here in the second. Jalen Johnson crashing downhill. He turns. He spins. He kicks. Okongwu for 3. Got it at the buzzer. Wow. Onyeka Okongwu with a big-time 3 to take us into the half. Instead of 5, it's going to be a 2-point game. We got ATL in the chat, Cornwall, Lower Marion, PA, Lancaster, Upper Darby, Philly. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's go. So happy I streamed this game, man. This is good hoops. This is good hoops, man. Looked like it was going to get out of hand, but tell you what, man. Tell you what. This is a good game so far, bro. This is a good game. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a good game right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, how do we feel, man? How are we feeling? 2-point game. 2-point game. Knicks lead at 57 to 55. 57 to 55. Give me one word in the chat to describe this game. How would you overall describe this 57 to 55 game so far here in the NBA playoffs? My word of the night, I'm going to go with phases, because this game has had a lot of phases. This has been a game of phases, game of stretches for me. Hawks came out, they were holding their own. Then the New York Knicks came out. Jalen Brunson was on a heater. Then he went absolutely quiet. Kitty Cat had 5 turnovers or 4 turnovers. Then he had a monster block. Then we had the Knicks go up by like 12 points or 11 or 13. Let's see, what was the biggest lead in this game? I think it was 13, right? 11. 11 was the biggest lead. So they went up by 11. Then you think the game's going to get out of hand. And then the Atlanta Hawks come back and they make it a game. And now it's a 2-point game. CJ McCollum has been huge. 17 points for the vet. I've always liked CJ, man. I've always liked him. Okongwu started off this game looking like a complete liability. Then he hits a couple big threes, gets his teammates involved, playing better defense. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool game so far. So I think phase would be my word. Let's see. We got any words in the chat? Competitive, good word. Excruciating, balanced. What else, man? What else? I think this game's been expected though for me. I expect this to be a battle. Like I said at the beginning of this live show, I said that this was going to be a battle of a series and the Knicks and the Hawks were going to battle. And I also said that it was going to go down to 7 games because I think the Hawks, although they may not have as good of a roster, even though they are undermanned, they have the ability to get hot. And we've seen that during multiple points this season. And they're athletic and they can still play quick. I feel like they're capitalizing well on the break. I want to look up some of the numbers here on the other side in terms of fast break points, transition, second chance, and all that. And we'll talk about what's going to happen in the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, I will ask you right now, what do you think is going to happen in this second half of this game? Who do you think is going to win this ball game? Who do you think is going to win this ball game? Let me know in the chat right now. I'll give you my final take. We'll look at some other stats as well. But before we do that, got to give a shout out to our great partners of the show over at National University. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not checked out National University, you have to do so. They are a nonprofit accredited university offering flexible online schooling, whether you're juggling full-time work, maybe taking care of a family, maybe trying to balance multiple jobs. You want to get that next degree, level up, so you can make more money, take care of your family, all that good stuff. But you feel like you don't have the energy to go back to school or the time. Well, worry no more. National University offers 4, 8, and 12-week online flexible courses designed to help you balance your work, life, and school. You get to start sooner and finish faster. They're one of the largest private nonprofits in the U.S., 50,000 plus students, and over 150 degree programs to choose from. Right now, they are offering their newest scholarship, the Believe and Succeed Scholarship. You can access it by clicking that link there in the chat. It'll grant students up to $6,000 annually towards your next bachelor's or master's degree. They awarded over $55 million in scholarships and tuition reductions last year. So check them out, man. New year, new goals, new you. National University can help support you in your academic journey, and they will give you all the resources that you need. Click our link down in the chat or the description. Go to nationaluniversity.com. Check out all their flexible online schooling programs, and thank you to them for being a great partner of the show all season long. Shout out to National University and shout out to Cat University because Cat is getting taken to school right now. He is 1 of 6, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 turnovers. Karl Anthony Towns is doing exactly what they've been saying about him all year. He's just not really playing his game. Maybe he can't in that system. Now, Jalen Brunson had 19 in the first, 3 in the second. But in terms of the fast break, it's 8-8, 26-20 in the paint. Knicks are winning the rebounding battle, which, was one of the main keys, right? You look at the size that they have. Okongwu is kind of more of a 4. And when you look at the stats, which we talked about, the New York Knicks are 7th, top 10 in the league in rebounding, and the Hawks are all the way down at 18. So rebounding is an emphasis. Like I said, both of these teams are top 5 in three-point percentage. So far, that is showing to be very true. The Hawks are 50%, 8 of 16. Knicks are 6 of 13, 46%. I feel like these teams haven't really gotten to the line too much. I mean, let me not jinx that. Hopefully they don't in the second half. It's a smooth half. But yeah, I just feel like the Hawks are hitting some pretty good shots. Mainly because of Jalen Johnson. I mean, he's got 10 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. Walker's got 4 assists. Daniels has 5 assists. It's not just coming from 1 or 2 guys. I mean, they're playing a real team effort here. I just don't know if they have enough depth off of their bench. But then again, I look at the New York Knicks. I don't feel like they have a lot of depth either, So we'll see, man. But I think if the Hawks continue to play scrappy and they continue to lock in and just try to extend possessions and capitalize in transition, I think they could make this a game. Overall, I think Brunson can take over. I mean, Bridges had a nice start. He hasn't done much since. Cat has been a non-factor. Anunoby actually has 11. But Brunson's going to have to take over for the New York Knicks unless somebody else can really step up. But that's kind of who the Knicks are. They give it to Jalen Brunson, space out, Cat sets a screen, and he tries to draw fouls. That's what happens. Let's see. Knicks by 10 plus says Iwan. Estelle says Hawks in overtime. I hope we don't get another overtime game. Like I said, I didn't even know if I was going to stream this game since tomorrow is an early game and we got to be ready to rock at 1 Eastern tomorrow. Actually, we'll be on here at 12:30. So be on here at 12:30 Eastern for pregame live tomorrow. But yeah, I'm hoping we don't get a double, triple overtime game. I'm definitely hoping for that. But we'll see. We will see. Cool J says, I got the Knicks winning, but they have to move the ball much better. Second half, Cat is not doing much, and the Hawks are stomping them on the break. We got a Hawks fan in the chat, says Jalen Johnson deserves to be MVP. Looking at Cat this season, he averaged 20 points a game, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Like, I don't know. It's not like I'm just used to him doing a little bit more. Like even last season, he averaged 24 points, 13 boards. He shot 37% just about this season from 3. Last season was 42. So he kind of took a step back. And I've been hearing a lot of what the Knicks media is saying about Cat. It's almost like a Mikal Bridges thing. Like, are you getting the bang for your buck? Like I think they're a second apron team or a first apron team. They have a lot of money on the books with Brunson and Cat and Bridges and Anunoby. So that prevents them. Like, they're not looking to go 8 deep into the playoffs rotation. They're looking to go 5 deep, 6 deep, So it's kind of just a different philosophy. They think that their starters can play 48 minutes and they can win that way. Whereas a team like OKC or San Antonio, they have a strong 8. So we'll see if it pans out to work. I do think this is the Knicks' last chance, really, at capitalizing on this window. I don't think they're going to do it. I think last year and pretty much the year before was their chance, to really strike and capitalize, and I don't feel like they did it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, honestly. But we'll see. We will see what happens. That's my thought. What do you guys think, man? Any other predictions? Any thoughts? Shout out to everybody in here. Lakers and Rockets will play the late game tonight. And no Kevin Durant now. So that game's a doozy. That game's a sleeper. I'm ready. I'm ready for Sixers Celtics tomorrow. I would say every playoff series that I've ever streamed for the Sixers on this channel, I've thought, or I guess expected the Sixers to be in the driver's seat to win, or at least have a really good chance to win. And I feel like in terms of the 76ers now, I just have a different feeling. Like I'm not going in with any expectations, So I'm excited. I'm ready for it to start. But I'm also not putting that stress and pressure on myself because I'm like, I kind of expect what I expect to happen. And if they don't, then okay, wonderful, but we'll see, Do you think the Sixers have a realistic chance to beat the Celtics? Regular season matchup is 2-2. I would say check out my preview video that I dropped yesterday. I gave all the information in that. Do I think they have a realistic chance to beat the Celtics without Joel Embiid? No. No Kevin Durant. So apparently, yeah, like 20 minutes ago, Shams just put out a report and he said Kevin Durant will not play for game 1 against the Lakers, which I didn't even know that KD got hurt this week in practice, but they said apparently Kevin Durant bumped knees with a teammate and now has a knee injury. They said it's not like too serious, but I don't know, man. Very interesting that he's not playing. And you know what's crazy too is that there's literally a video here from 30 minutes ago from ESPN NBA account, and it shows Kevin Durant warming up in practice, and he looks fine, actually. He actually looks perfectly fine. So I don't understand. Why is Kevin Durant not playing? Doesn't make any sense to me. Looks fine. Who do you guys think is winning the NBA Finals? Give me your thoughts in the chat. Who's winning the Finals? Has your prediction changed at all, or are you still rocking with your original predictions? Give me your thoughts in the chat. While this halftime's on, let me go ahead, check some things. Let's see. Kevin Durant right knee injury at practice. KD is ducking LeBron. OKC is going to win. Celtics in 7 against OKC. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think OKC is going to win, to be honest. I think I would love to see the Spurs and OKC in a Western Conference Finals, but now the Spurs are going to have to go through Denver in the second and then OKC. That's a really tough path to getting to the finals. Really tough path. And you know what's crazy too is that because the Clippers lost that game, the Thunder are now getting another lottery pick. So I think they're going to have 3 first-round picks, if I'm not mistaken. That's just insane to me. It really is. So once the Thunder need to trade away a few pieces, they're just going to do that, and then they're going to keep just stacking their roster and just build the greatest team ever. Maybe they'll win like 6 championships in a row. All right, here we go. CJ McCollum going to drive. He steps back mid-range. He got it to go, but he traveled. Brunson got hit in the... Oh, he got hit in the privates. He's grabbing the no-nos. Brunson is down. He's in pain. Mike Brown's pissed off. That's why you got to wear a cup, kids. McCollum's shaking his head. He thinks Brunson's flopping. Dang, he kicked him. He actually did kick him in the nuts. Now they're going to review this. Come on, man. Come on, man. OKC is becoming a new dynasty. They might. If the Thunder win this year, I mean, you could definitely see them becoming a dynasty, especially with the first-round picks that they have. What NBA Finals matchup would be most entertaining and competitive? Give me the 76ers with a Joel Embiid return in the conference finals. Gets us to the finals against the San Antonio Spurs. That would be the most entertaining to me. Embiid and Wemby going at it for 7 games. That'd be fun. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be OKC. As of right now, my pick would probably be Boston to come out of the East, but we'll see what happens. But I think the Thunder are going to win again. I really want to see Thunder and Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. So McCollum's going to get a technical foul for kicking Brunson in the nuts on a jump shot. Glad they didn't call like a flagrant 2 or something ridiculous. But yeah. Let's go Hawks beat the Brunson team, says Tay. OKC will probably repeat. They're too deep for any opponent. They're a serious problem. I agree with that. Thunder are crazy. I feel like the Thunder have taken so many quarters off this season too. Like they're just going to be so well rested. Barring any crazy injury, the Thunder should just steamroll, to be honest. So the free throw is good. Brunson's still in pain walking around. McCollum's laughing it off. McCollum's really just a hooper, bro. Here's Joshua Hart on the inbound. So the Knicks lead it by 3. We are a half of a minute into the third. Clock was stopped for a while there. Here's Karl Anthony Towns rocking the orange sneaks. Look like they're like size 20. Cat floats on up, misses it off balance. Man, Cat just plays a wonky game. Here's a 3-ball Okongwu, and he drills it! As soon as I called Onyeka Okongwu a liability, he started cooking. It is a tie game at 58, ladies and gentlemen. Can we get some fires in the chat, man? Can we get some fuegos in the chat? Come on, man. Let's go. Cat pops out a 3. He's going to respond 61-58. Here come the Atlanta Hawks. Dyson Daniels dumps it off to Jalen Johnson. He's going to drive through traffic. He turns. He kicks. Here's Daniels. The turn, the spin, the drive. Floats it up. And an air ball for Dyson Daniels. Here come the New York Knicks. Hart kicks it out to Anunoby. A corner 3. And drills it again. So the Knicks answer right back with 2 triples of their own. Here are the Atlanta Hawks. By the way, it just reminded me, another one of my keys for the Sixers Celtics is Nurse has to be really on top of it with the timeouts. Can't let the Celtics go on a 9-0 run and just sit on the bench and do nothing. Here's Okongwu, gonna drive, gonna turn, the corner, goes up, poked away again. Nice defensive play by Cat. Now Brunson in the fast break, and he's fouled by Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker's been relatively quiet for a guy that's averaged 20 points a game this season. So do you guys like when I stream other games, man? Do you want me to stream other games throughout the playoffs? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Really appreciate this community all season long for hanging out with me. If you've been here for the last year or more, you know that our coverage extends throughout the entire year. So we'll stream the playoffs, and then we'll do the NBA draft. You know, we'll do draft coverage, and then who knows, maybe I'll pop back out the summer league this year. We'll see how that goes. We usually do some player interviews. We do other things. Obviously, the summer is a lot more of a chill time, you know, as we get rested and get back for the season. But yeah, I mean, our coverage continues, man. So like I said, make sure you stay tapped in with us and make sure you continue to tap in. Rachel Nichols just tweeted, said, Rockets coach Ime Udoka says that Kevin Durant hit his knee in an awkward spot above the patella tendon. Udoka says imaging showed nothing major, but that Durant's knee is very tender and tough to bend in certain ways, and he's not sure how long he'll be out. So the Rockets and Lakers series is pretty much a wash at this point. I am not looking forward to watching that series at all. Thunder have a cakewalk to the Western Conference Finals. They do, thanks to the San Antonio Spurs. I don't understand why the Spurs did not try to win that last game of the season. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but the Spurs had a chance to beat the Nuggets, who were resting everybody except Jokic. And if they would have won that game, they would have been the Nuggets would have dropped down a seed. And yeah, they would have missed the Nuggets entirely, or the Thunder. Like, the Thunder would have played the Nuggets in the second round, and then the Spurs would have played the winner in the Western Conference Finals. But because the Spurs lost that last game of the season and didn't really try that much, now they have to play the Nuggets in the second round and then the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. And the Thunder got an easy route right to the Western Conference Finals. So just crazy stuff, man. Sixers would start Lowry over McCollum. How many years do you think streamers can co-stream games? That would be sick. I mean, probably can already. It just takes a lot of production behind the scenes to make it work. But that'd be a cool feature if they could do that. Nurse had him and Reggie Jackson as our backcourt last year. No one does this better. Andrew, appreciate you, my man. Katie is out. Yeah, Katie is out for game one at least. Out of nowhere, Shams popped up like a half hour ago and said that Kevin Durant is going to miss game one. And now, according to Rachel Nichols, he might even miss more than game one. Keep in mind, no Luka Doncic, no Austin Reeves. So, yeah, it's crazy, man. Crazy. Also, I didn't watch the Magic Hornets game yesterday, like I was mentioning earlier, but what happened in that game? How did the Hornets go down by 30 points against Orlando? Orlando? That's crazy. I guess the Magic coach gets another game, right, without getting fired. And you want to hear another crazy stat of the day? I feel like I'm just spewing off stuff right now. McCollum baseline drive off the spin and gets it to go. Nice play by McCollum. He is hooping tonight. You want to hear another crazy stat? You want to hear another crazy stat, man? Andre Drummond has more made threes in the postseason than Con Knipple. Karl Anthony Towns going to pump fake, drive the lane, go up, and he was fouled by Jalen Johnson. It's going to be number one on Jalen. Looked like he got his finger jammed a little bit, but Karl Anthony Towns is going to go to the line. But yeah, Andre Drummond had 2 threes in the play-in game, and Con Knipple had 1 in 2 play-in games. He really just fizzled out in their last couple of games. Maybe a little bit of boost for VJ Edgecombe and Cooper Flagg. Busy says, where is our easy route? We don't get an easy route, Busy. Come on, you know this. You're a Sixers fan. Sixers limp into the playoffs, and then we got to play the freaking Celtics. We couldn't play the Cavaliers. We couldn't play the Hornets. Matter of fact, we would have lost to the Hornets, but we couldn't play, we couldn't play the Cavs or the Hawks or the Bulls. We had to play the Celtics. I don't know. I just think it's crazy after that play-in game we streamed on Tuesday where the Hornets just were insane in how they won that game and then they get blown out. It's just wild to me. So after the free throw, here's McCollum. It's a 6-point game yet again. 2 of 2 at the line for Cat. McCollum finds Johnson and another foul. I guess I jinxed that as well. I said in the first half that there weren't a lot of fouls, and now it feels like the game is stopping every 2 seconds. We've only gone 3 minutes into this quarter, man. I feel like this quarter's been going on for 20 minutes. What are we doing? Here's Dyson Daniels at the top. Daniels going to turn and spin against Cat. He's going to cross over, drive downhill, had it poked away. Brunson all the way up the floor. Hart's on a free lane, and he slams it down with 2. CJ McCollum, guarded by Jalen Brunson. McCollum going to find Okongwu. Okongwu going to find Jalen Johnson. Going to dribble, drive, kicks. Daniels, corner 3. McCollum, bang! Bang! CJ McCollum!
He's on fire!
Holy smokes, man. Brunson going to drive the lane, turn and spin, and he threw it off the foot of Jalen Johnson. It's a 5-point game. 212 people in the chat. Get us to 200 likes. Hit that thumbs up button. I don't think Spurs management doesn't care if they don't win this season. Well, they should. You got to capitalize on opportunities while you have them. Brunson lost it out of bounds. It's going to be Hawks basketball. Brunson's pissed. He wants a review. Brunson's complaining. Jeez, why are you yapping like that, Brunson? I mean, if you're able to stream the game and watch with your fans. Hornets sucks, says Busy B. Magic blasted them in the first quarter. Hornets can't stop missing. Cisco, what's going on? RB, can the Sixers beat the Knicks without Joel Embiid? I don't know if they could beat anybody without Joel in a 7-game series. I feel like if they would have had more time, and not just went back and forth, like if they actually were able to establish an identity with Maxey and VJ for a while, maybe. But also they need a better rim running big that can also shoot threes. Now, if Andre Drummond plays in the Celtics series like he did in the play-in, then yeah, the Sixers can win games. But will Andre Drummond or Adem Bona do that consistently? I don't know. Here's Josh Hart going to turn, spin, arc one up, can't get it to go. The Knicks are not putting their foot on the gas pedal, leaving room for the Hawks to capitalize. Here's Dyson Daniels. Daniels going to turn the corner, kick to Alexander Walker. He's going to drive, fade away baseline, can't get it to go. Hawks tap it out. Second opportunity. Here's McCollum around a ball screen, guarded by Jalen Brunson, trying to take advantage of him. McCollum trying to get space. He pulls up a 3, can't get it to go. Wanted the foul, looked like he had warrant for it, but they did not blow the whistle. So here come the New York Knicks. Anunoby gets fouled this time. Yo, there's too many fouls in this quarter, man. There's too many fouls, bro. Bro, there's been like 10 fouls in this quarter alone. Oh, I didn't even see that. Anunoby twisted his ankle. Oh, that hurt. I know that one hurt. Did he come out of the game? He did. Anunoby came right out of the game. He twisted his ankle there, so we'll have to see what happens there. Brunson guarded by Dyson Daniels. Brunson floats one up, tried to get the whistle, did not. And here come the Atlanta Hawks. Jalen Johnson driving downhill, turns the corner, goes up, misses the layup with the right hand. New York Knicks bringing it down the other way. Here's Shamet popping out a three. No good. Both teams ice cold. 5-point ball game. 7 to go here in the third. Okongwu dribbles and kicks. Daniels now Johnson. Johnson at the wing. He's going to drive. Had that one poked away. So here come the New York Knicks. Josh Hart on the steal. Finds Jalen Brunson guarded by Dyson Daniels. Here's Jalen Brunson at the wing. He's going to turn, come around Mikal Bridges. Brunson kicks off to Hart. Hart on the wing. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Bridges driving downhill. He turns. He fades and got it to go. Mikal Bridges. Finally, somebody hits a bucket. Here's Okongwu going to find a kill. Alexander Walker, a deep three. That one in and out. Okongwu trying to box out. He cannot. Here come the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, crossover, drive against McCollum, barrels him out of the way, and airballs the layup. Brunson has gone cold since the first quarter when he had 19 points. He's had 3 points in the second and third quarter combined. Hawks looking for a foul. Everybody's whining for fouls right now. This feels like a lot of whining going on here. Maybe some warrant there. Definitely got hit on the wrist, but I feel like there's been so many fouls here in this third quarter. I feel like I'm warmed up now. I feel like I'm warmed up for Sixers and Celtics. All you better be here tomorrow at 1 Eastern, man. It's going to be a good game one. Looking forward to it. We've streamed every Sixers game this year. I'm excited. Here's Josh Hart at the top, going to find Karl Anthony Towns now. Towns against Okongwu, using his body and his strength, drives the lane, misses the layup. Hart picks it up. It goes out of bounds. They're going to say Knicks ball. To me, that looked like it was out on Josh Hart. But we'll see if we get a rebound. I'm warmed up now, man. I'm warmed up now. Let's go, man. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, playoff game day live show. I'm RB. This one's brought to you by National University. We're going to be streaming a ton of games in the playoffs. So if you do enjoy this content, make sure you like the show and subscribe to our channel and turn on noties so you don't miss any of our content. Unfortunately, I think the Celtics win 5-6 games and eliminate us. T-Pop says, I don't trust the Hawks. Dyson Daniels has 3 steals. Yeah, he's playing great defense right now. Here's Anunoby. And we got another foul, bro. This game is becoming unbearable in this third quarter, man. I jinxed it, though. It was my fault. It's my fault. Crazy, bro. So Mohamed Gay back in for the Hawks with Gabe Vincent. Mitchell Robinson in for New York. And now we have another foul. Bro. Knicks are in the bonus now. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy, man. I just saw 4 fouls in the span of a minute. First one, no good for Mitchell Robinson. Guys, make sure you follow me on Twitter, man, at RBPhillyTake. Follow us on IG and TikTok as well, at PhillyTake with RB. Putting out tons of content, exclusive content as well. Make sure you check us all out, man. So the second free throw is going to be good. 1 of 2 at the stripe for Mitchell Robinson. Here is Gabe Vincent with the rock. And he throws it away. Mikal Bridges down the other end, slams it in transition. The game is starting to slip now for Atlanta. As soon as they took CJ McCollum out, they've been struggling mightily. Here's Muhammad Gay in the corner, a three, way off. Daniels gets the offensive rebound now. I got to be honest, man. This is a crazy lineup by Quinn Snyder. Alexander Walker going to drive. Daniels kicks it up top, wide open three, and no good for Jalen Johnson, but they get another offensive rebound. Third opportunity, drive to the rim, and a finish. Nice play by Jalen Johnson. Holy smokes, man. 73-65 is the score. Jalen Johnson is 4 of 11 in this game. Knicks are starting to turn up the dial defensively. So Johnson and Walker, really Walker's got to get going. He's 2 of 9, 1 of 4 from deep, 7 points. This is a guy that averages, what, 20.8 points per game. Shoots 40% from three. He's got to get going. It's been a pretty good game, though. Roger says, yes, please stream other games. I'm a Sixers fan. Have been following Jock Landale with the Hawks. So great you can stream it for me. Roger from Australia. What's up, Roger? What's up, Roger? Now Mitchell Robinson just got hit in the nuts. What is going on? What is going on? So now Robinson's going back to the free throw line where he shoots 40.8%. Yo, let me ask you guys in the chat. This is an honest question. Could you shoot better than 40% from the free throw line? Robinson going to miss the free throw. I am guaranteeing you. And now the Knicks pick up a foul. Bro, too many fouls, man. I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. I'm going to say 99.9% sure that I could shoot over 40% from the free throw line. I'm 99% sure. How are you an NBA player and you shoot 40% from the free throw line and you're 7 feet tall? That's crazy work to me. Here's Jalen Johnson at the top of the arc. He's going to kick off the Daniels, back to Jalen Johnson. He spins, he drives. Johnson floats it up, rolls around, and falls. Back to a 6-point ball game. Brunson up the bridges now. Hawks keeping it close. Knicks can't seem to pull away. Here's Jalen Brunson, guarded by Gabe Vincent. Brunson going to cross over, now turn his back. He's backing down Vincent. He steps back for a midi, and it is short. Hawks have the ball. Here's Dyson Daniels. Daniels going to find Kuminga. Kuminga going to cross over, kick over to Okongwu. Now it is Johnson backing down Shamet. He turns to his right, floats it up, can't get it. Daniels the offensive rebound. Brunson takes it away, and Brunson lands on the basketball. Thought he was about to pop the basketball for a second. And that one is going the other way. Sheesh, man. Sheesh. I'm like, yo. What the heck is going on? Brunson's now going to the line. Knicks have been in the bonus for 3 minutes already. First one going to be good for Jalen Brunson. Next year, Embiid will be healthy for playoffs. I don't know, man. I'm not confident in it. It's broken me too much. Sixers have 2, potentially 3 home games left in the season. RB, how do you feel about the Flyers? I think I can shoot 46 to 51%. How do I feel about the Flyers? Like I said, I'm not a big X's and O's hockey guy, but I'm looking forward to seeing if they can win playoff games. I don't like the Pittsburgh Penguins, and yeah. We'll see. I'm glad to see the Flyers back in the playoffs. So Brunson going to knock down a pair at the line in what has been maybe the longest quarter of our entire lives. 75-67. Still 4 minutes to play. Here's Nickeil Alexander-Walker going to drive, float it up, and gets it to go. So there's Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Finally gets a bucket to fall. 3:25 to go here in the third. Brunson going to dribble, drive, downhill, goes up with the right hand, and man, did he sell that one. Brunson sells another one, lands on the leg of Gabe Vincent. Vincent is hobbled up, and Brunson's going to get 2 more free throws. 230 people in the chat. If you guys have not yet, please like the show and subscribe to the channel. I'm RB. We break down all these games, we stream games, and we have fun. Gabe Vincent. Actually, Brunson did not land on his ankle. He just kind of got it jammed up a little bit. Chat, how are we feeling, man? How are we feeling, chat? Shout out to the OGs in here, the diehards. Shout out to Busy B for holding it down all season. One of our best viewers and mods. Shout out to everybody else in here, man. My guy Dom was in here earlier. Time was in here. Shout out to the OGs, man. So, what do you know? It's more free throws coming up for Floppy Brunson. Where do these teams rank in terms of free throw attempts? I would assume the Knicks are up there. Let's see. The Celtics are actually dead last in free throw attempts, in case you didn't catch that in my video. Actually, the Knicks are 25th, which I'm very surprised about. And the Hawks are 24th. So neither of these teams have gotten the line as much as I thought that they did. And now, what do you know? We have another foul on the other end. Sixers are actually 4th in free throw percentage. So there's something that the Sixers are good at. Here is Nickeil Alexander-Walker going to drive, fade away from the elbow, no good. Mohamed Gay with the offensive rebound, finds Johnson, cutting to the rim, goes up and slams it down. Hawks bring it back to a 6-point game. They're not going away. Jonathan Kuminga is back in for Atlanta. They're running small ball again. They don't have any bigs. Here's a 3-ball from Shamet. That one pops out. Hawks have a chance to keep it close, and now we have a foul on the rebound on Deuce McBride as he smacked Vincent across the face. How many fouls in this quarter, bro? How many fouls do we have in this quarter? All right, guys, we'll be back in a quick 30. Don't go anywhere. BRB.
Meet my dad. National University supports all his ends with flexible online courses. He can be a student and catch bad guys on the internet and teach me how to hit a curveball and serve his country. He's an ander. National University supporting all your ands.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with 2:40 to go in the third quarter. Knicks lead it 77-71. Knicks have had runs of 12-2, 13-1, and 15-5. But somehow, some way, the Atlanta Hawks are right here with a chance. Let's see how many fouls have been committed in the third quarter. We have 8 for the Atlanta Hawks. We have 4 for the New York Knicks. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I wasn't crazy, guys and girls. There have been 12 personal fouls in this quarter. It's my fault. Blame me. Because apparently everything I say gets reverse jinxed. And at halftime, I said it was actually a pretty fairly light free throw first half. And now there's been 12 fouls in the third quarter. So my bad, guys. My bad. All right. Sixer Nation in the chat, or anybody else that wants to answer. I usually have, and I don't know, maybe you guys are different, but as someone that covers the Sixers and this team and, you know, covers sports, right? Like usually the night before, I have like, or maybe the morning of, I have like urges, you know, like gut urges or like gut instincts of things that are going to happen. Like sometimes I just have a feeling on the day of the game. Do you guys also feel that way about certain games? And if so, what is your gut instinct about tomorrow? It doesn't have to be the game in general, but just like, I don't know, a player that's going to have a huge game or the way a game's going to go. What's your like gut instinct or gut feel for tomorrow, Sixers versus Celtics? Once again, we will be live at 12:30 Eastern doing our half-hour pregame show. Then we'll be live watching the game, breaking it down, and then we'll do the postgame show right after. What is your gut feel on tomorrow's game in terms of Sixers versus Celtics? I think I'm going to wait to tell you guys mine, because I'm already starting to have some feelings about the game, but I will reserve those for tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think. Like, do you have any urges about like a certain player that's going to have a big game, or like the way it's going to go, or just something in general? Here's a dribble pull-up three from Gabe Vincent. That one does not go. You know what's pretty crazy is that I'm really surprised, actually. So you're telling me that Corey Kispert does not play at all? And who else? Buddy Hield does not play. And Vit Krejci does not play. Definitely interesting to me. I'm surprised Kispert doesn't play. Hawks turned it over. Kispert is averaging 9 points a game. He averaged the same thing for Washington, 35% from three. There's a block by Karl Anthony Towns. Here come the New York Knicks on the fast break. Josh Hart takes it to the rim, goes right up and in. I don't know. I'm a little surprised that that Kispert's not playing. Here's Jalen Johnson going to drive, turn, step back. Johnson a two and knocks it down. Josh Hart slow to get up. I think we get blown out as my gut feeling, says Andrew. Smiley says we steal game one. John Monroe, what's up, bro? Here's Karl Anthony Towns at the wing, guarded by Mohamed Gay. Going to drive, spin, kick it up top to Brunson. One-on-one Brunson against Alexander Walker. 5 on the shot clock. Brunson going to turn, half spin, lost the ball. Mohamed Gay dives on top of it. And here come the Atlanta Hawks, 4-on-4. Walker pushing the pace now. He's going to find Johnson cutting to the rim, and a blocking foul on Karl Anthony Towns. That is going to be number 2. John Monroe says, I feel like we can win tomorrow. We just need to limit second chance points. Tatum and Brown are tough matchups. We can hang with them. Busy says VJ Max is going to be great for us. Shazy says, who do you think wins tonight, Knicks or Hawks? That's a great question. My gut coming into tonight, as I said in the beginning of the show, I think the Hawks can win this series. I really do. I think it's going to be a battle. Knicks should win the series because they're the more talented team. But even you're seeing it here in this game, like the Knicks are pretty flawed as well. Like they're a good roster, but they have issues too. I just think the Hawks are lacking a bit of depth, especially at the 4 and the 5. But in terms of tonight, I always thought the Knicks were going to win game 1 anyway. But we'll see. This would be huge if the Hawks could steal this game. Mohamed Gay going to miss the second free throw. Yeah, I'm surprised that Kispert hasn't played yet. Guess he doesn't. Guess he's not in the rotation. Here's Cat going to drive, spin, go up, and he is fouled.
Sure.
So another foul here in quarter 3. I think we're up to 14 now in this quarter. $10 super chat, Electric Field. Thank you so much. Electric Field showing some love in the chat. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. 200 plus people still in here, man. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We're 21 subs away from 53K. Towns going to knock down the first. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think? Who's going to win this game? Knicks should definitely win, but Hawks will sneakily come up and take the series to Shazy. I just think there's going to be one big upset in the first round, and I think it's going to be this series. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I just want to see the Knicks lose. Sixers 120 to 118. They win in the last seconds with a block by Maxey. 40 points. That is a big-time prediction. That would be huge if they could do that on the road in Boston. I mean, look, opening night, Maxey had 40, VJ had 34. Here's McCollum going to step back for three. No good. Kuminga, McCollum a three. That's short again. Knicks have an easy bucket up the floor, and it's going to be OG Anunoby, who's playing on a hurt ankle, by the way. Looked like he was limping. I don't even know how he jumped right there. But the Knicks take a 9-point lead. Once again, they're on another run. McCollum drives and kicks. Walker to Johnson. Here's Johnson going to step back mid-range, in and out. 15 seconds to go here in the third. Fans are rising at MSG. Brunson's got Alexander Walker one-on-one. Here's Brunson against Walker. He's going to drive downhill. He turns, floats it up, and Hawks at the buzzer just missed it. Whoa, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. Johnson almost had a full court shot, just like Maxey did a week ago, but it didn't even count. But anyway, man, that is finally the conclusion of the third quarter, which felt like it took an hour long. Kind of did with 14 fouls, but nonetheless, man, Knicks lead it by 9, 83 to 74. Welcome into the Game Day Live show here for a playoff game. First one of round one. We're warming up for tomorrow. Give me any hot takes, any bold predictions, anything else you got in the live chat. Who do you think is also going to win tonight's game now that Kevin Durant is out for game one? No Durant, no Luka, no Austin Reeves. Who do you think is going to win that game tonight? Give me your thoughts on all that and more. Before we get into this fourth quarter, got to give one more shout out to our great partners of the show all season long over at National University. Ladies and gentlemen, check them out. They are one of the biggest accredited nonprofit universities in the U.S. It gives you the support to balance your life. Flexible 4, 8, and 12-week online courses that make pursuing your education achievable. They offer over 150 degree areas of study, including education, business, marketing, healthcare, psychology, social sciences, engineering, tech, criminal justice, and more. They awarded nearly $55 million in scholarships and tuition reductions last year. And as a veteran-founded university, they give you all the resources you need to stay locked in on your academic journey. They even offer free mental health counseling and a peer navigator network to help you feel supported. They understand that you don't have to press pause on life to learn. You can do both at the same time. That's why they give you all the resources you need to balance work, life, and school. Check out all their newest scholarship offerings, including the Believe and Succeed scholarship right now, where you can get up to $6,000 annually towards your next bachelor's or master's degree. They even customize education plans, for you with adaptive instruction, holistic student support, and competency-based credentialing. Thank you to National University for being a great partner of the show for the last 2 years. Click their link down below and check out all of their information today. All right, man, one more quarter to go. One more quarter to go. That's where we're at. We finally have hit the fourth quarter. Do the Atlanta Hawks have any chance to make this a game? I still think they can, but their shooting has dipped off tremendously. They're not hitting shots. Alexander Walker has been a no-show in this game. Yeah, they're really just relying on Johnson and McCollum to take them to victory. But the thing is, I don't feel like the Knicks have played that good either. Andrew says we need Maxey, Paul, and VJ to score 70 to 85 combined each game to have a chance. Knicks getting taken out in the first round by the Hawks would be hilarious. Yo, RB, regardless of standings, who would you rather lose against, Celtics or the Knicks? I don't want to lose to either one, man. I'm tired. I'm tired of both of these teams, man. I don't want to lose to either one. But, yeah, I don't know, man. We're going into this series with no expectations. At least I am. There's a bunch of Sixers fans that have been commenting on my stuff the last couple days. Are like, yeah, we're going to win this series in 6. Yeah, I don't know about that. But I hope we do. We'll see. Mitchell Robinson going to hand it off to Landry Shamet. We begin quarter number 4. It's Shamet, McBride, Clarkson, Robinson, and Anunoby. McBride's going to get called for the illegal screen, so the bucket will not count. The 5 for Atlanta is Dyson Daniels, CJ McCollum, Jonathan Kuminga, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Onyeka Okongwu. Here's Jonathan Kuminga working against Jordan Clarkson. He's going to dribble, drive, downhill, accelerate, and lays it up and in. Jonathan Kuminga gets it to go. So it is a 7-point game now. Here's Mitchell Robinson going to turn and spin. Robinson, Shamet, a 3 from the wing. It's short. And a foul on, I think it was on the Knicks. Definitely make sure you guys go check out my full Sixers and Celtics preview and prediction video up on the channel before tomorrow if you want all the insight and analysis for the series, everything to watch out for. Hawks down by 7. Here's Alexander Walker, kicks to McCollum. McCollum from the wing, in and out. Here comes Okongwu crashing the boards, goes out of bounds. Yo, that's off the foot of Robinson. Yo, you got to challenge that. They're not challenging that? Are you serious? What? Yeah, the ball just went off Robinson's shoe. Nobody even said to challenge it. That's crazy work, man. McBride accelerates to the rim, floats it up, and it rimmed out. Here come the Hawks on the break. McCollum downhill. McCollum going to step back. Mid-range 2. In and out. Knicks have it. Here's Clarkson. 7-point game now. Clarkson going to find Robinson. Robinson going to find Clarkson. Clarkson coming around a screen. He's going to find Robinson, and Robinson flushes it home with the two-handed jam. Feels like the Knicks are on the brink of breaking this one, but they've been here about 5 times in this game and have not been able to do so yet. 2 minutes into this fourth quarter, here's Alexander Walker going to drive and spin. Now back the other way. Alexander Walker from deep. Short, and Anunoby wraps up Daniels on the rebound, so it's going to be a foul, and it's going to stay with the Atlanta Hawks. (85-76). Here's McCollum against Robinson. McCollum working at the wing. McCollum going to cross over. He drives, goes downhill, kicks it out, and threw it away. Knicks have it on the steal. Here's Shamet. Now McBride. McBride chucks a 3, and it's money. And for the first time in a long time, the Knicks have brought the lead to double digits. They're on a 9-2 run. They lead it 88-76. Here's Dyson Daniels, hands it off to Kuminga. Kuminga going to drive, crossover, dribble, pull up, and got it, and one. So the Knicks not going away just yet. It's a bucket and one more coming up. Yes, sir. And one. Busy B says, I forgot Sohan was on the Knicks. I forgot he was too. Does he even play? No. Probably not, right? If the Sixers make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and Embiid can play, would you play him? If Embiid can play, would I play him? Yeah, of course. Definitely would play him. But I don't know if they're going to make it to the conference finals. 9:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. McBride going to find Clarkson. Clarkson guarded by Alexander Walker. He's going to dribble and drive downhill, turns, spins, fades, can't get it. Robinson looking for the board, taps it out. McCollum has it. And McCollum's going to float one in from the baseline, so a quick 5-0 run for Atlanta. And now it's back to 7 again. They just don't go away. McBride for 3, and he answers. Back to a 10-point game. Now the Hawks on the other end, and Walker's going to answer, and he's talking smack. So it is getting into a bit of a shootout right now. 91-84. Here's Anunoby, going to dribble, drive, step back, baseline, got it again. CJ McCollum guarded by Miles McBride. McCollum going to find Alexander Walker. Pump fakes, drives, downhill, kicks it out. Daniels wide open for 3. He airballed it, and we have a foul on Jordan Clarkson, who got wrapped up with Onyeka Okongwu. Both guys hit the deck, and it's going to stay with Atlanta, 93-84. Jordan Clarkson's a guy that I always liked as a 6-man option. Talked about him a lot. He's kind of past his years a little bit, but he's still getting minutes. Now Okongwu's going to drive, and another whistle. I put out a tweet yesterday, and I was kind of joking around, but I'm like, hopefully we don't get another one of those Woj tweets during the Sixers-Celtics series. Remember when they missed like 1 million calls in Game 6 and the NBA never did anything about it? Remember that? 13 officiating errors, and they couldn't take it back. Who would I start? Bona or Drummond for what, the series tomorrow? Like I said, check out my preview video, man, but I've made it very clear where I would go at this point. You got to go with the experience. You have to go with the experience, 100%. But Drummond also can't be in La La Land. He's got to actually, like, show up. Okongwu going to miss the second. Sixers better be watching tape right now, man. Here's Deuce McBride, guarded by Dyson Daniels. 1 of 2 at the line. Here's Cat for 3, and he drills it. Cat's going to hit him with a little flex, and the Hawks go up by 11. Here's Gabe Vincent with the rock. He's going to drive, lay it up, and in. This is a spot where I would bring in Corey Kispert, man. Guy that can knock down threes, defend the perimeter. I don't know why he's not playing at all. Or even a Buddy Hield. You need some three-point spark. 7 minutes to go. Here's Cat going to find a 1-bouncer. Clarkson, Hart, Bridges steps into a 3. Left it short. Clarkson luckily right there under the rim to scoop in the rebound. And the Hawks are slipping away here. 11-point game. Johnson going to dribble, step back, find Okongwu. Steps into a 3. That one's off wide. Knicks have it. Here comes Josh Hart. Cat working up top. Cat driving downhill. Goes all the way. Got it. And 1. Cat's pointing. He's chirping. He's flexing. I don't know if I would get oh so confident in game 1. That's just me. Now he's like wobbling his head. Like, come on, Cat. Cat's a funny player to me. He's such a They always call him zesty, but like he kind of is, man. Like you're like 7'1". I'm like, haven't you been playing bad the whole night, bro? Now you're out here acting like you're like the greatest show on turf. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Oh, man. Eric Lewis, he retired right when they were investigating him. Exactly. And he was a Celtics fan. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen, man. 100%. He definitely fixed that game. 100%. But the Sixers should have won anyway. Busy says Cat is so zesty. He really is. He's doing like these little arm flexes and he's like, yeah, yeah. Some of the voiceovers they make for Cat is hilarious, man. I'm like, chill out, bro. You got 5 turnovers. You're 4 of 11. Yeah, Cat's funny. He's a funny player. Still think he's a good player, but he's pretty funny. If it was Maxey, you would love it. Nah, not really. Not really. I just don't think there's room to be flexing in game 1 of a series. I think that, you got to be humble at this point. Especially if you're 4 of 11. Now, if you're 8 of 10 and you got 30, 20, and 10 and you're absolutely destroying, then yeah, flex on them all you want. Like you are the bully. You know what I mean? Like they're not stopping you. My thing is you got 4 made shot attempts and 5 turnovers. You got more turnovers than shots. Like, come on now. Cat gets excited when he plays basketball. He really does. Why are the Hawks playing Gabe Vincent more than Buddy Hield and Corey Kispert? I don't understand that one at all. Maybe Hawks fans can educate me on that, but Corey Kispert to me is the perfect player that they need right now in this game. And yeah, Buddy Hield could be a spark. We got a rap sheet bomb. Let's see. Dexter Lawrence being traded to the Bengals. We knew he was going to be traded. Sexy Dexy getting traded to the Bengals in a deal that involves the number 10 overall pick to the Giants. So the Giants are going to have 2 top 10 picks. But yeah, the Giants are a crap show per usual. Oh yeah, Busy B, you're a Giants fan, right? Haha. Giants fans really thought they were contending this year. Yeah, okay. Okay. This is the Eagles division. Eagles run this division. The Washington Commanders, led by Joshua Harris. Yeah, they'll be like a good 3rd place. Be like a 7-win team. Cowboys will be in the gutter. And yeah. Giants, I don't know. I can't believe the Bengals traded for him, though. The Bengals of all teams, and they're paying him? The Bengals are paying an actual NFL player? Oh, man. So Cat's going to knock down the free throw. It is a 14-point ball game. 6:20 to go. Knicks are currently on, I don't know what the run is right now, but they're on a run. McCollum step back 2, no good. Hawks are running out of gas. Knicks are currently on an 8-2 run. Be nice. Giants are cooked, man. Clarkson all the way into the rim, lays it up and through. 16-point lead. Here's Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga going to turn and spin. Kuminga going to find Dyson Daniels now. 5:40 to go. 10 on the shot clock. They need it. Yeah, the Hawks are falling apart, man. Falling apart. I don't follow football at all. I told my friend if I was, I'd be an Eagles fan. He didn't like my answers because he's a Cowboys fan. Shazy, let me tell you, let me educate you real quick, bro. Clarkson misses the layup. Here come the Hawks in the fast break. Johnson going to drive and spin, kick it back. Here's a pump fake. Back to Johnson and a turnover. The Hawks threw it away. Clarkson is hype. 16-point game. Yeah, I know some Cowboys fans in my life, bro. And dude, dealing with Cowboys fans, like think about dealing with like Knicks fans or, you know, Celtics fans or Raptor, like whoever, right? Like think about dealing with those fans that, you know, have like heated rivalries and turn the dial up by like 100. That's the delusion of Cowboy fans. It's like 100 times worse. So yeah, if you become an NFL fan, definitely be an Eagles fan. I mean, again, Eagles have had a lot of tough times in their franchise history. Now, in the last 7 years, they've been to 3 Super Bowls. They've won 2. This is the best era of Eagles football by far. They have an owner that really cares. They have a GM that is top-notch. And that's why they're relevant. But what I will say is, yeah, you're going to have a lot of debating with Cowboys fans because they are absolutely delusional. 100%. Jets are a poverty franchise. Yeah, the Jets are terrible. When is the last time we beat the Celtics in the playoffs? That's a great question, actually. Celtics have actually won 6 straight playoff series against the 76ers. So they have actually owned us for a while now. It's pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie, though. For the New York Giants, though, as much as I'm hating here, getting the 10th pick in the draft is actually a really good return for a guy that demanded a trade and wanted a contract. Number 10 overall pick is pretty good in terms of a return. I don't know why the Bengals I don't know why the Bengals would make that trade right before the draft. I don't know. Busy B says the Hawks fell asleep. Yeah, they did. They really did. They've kind of fallen off here in the second half. They 13 points here in the fourth quarter, 20-13. He told me to be a Cowboys fan. I said, sorry, I'm not doing that to myself. $2 super chat. AP says, paying attention, RB. It's not too late. What do you mean it's not too late, bro? I don't know what that means. This is game 1 of the series. Just because I picked the Hawks to win a series doesn't mean that they were going to win game 1. I appreciate the super chat, but yeah, see, that's that. AP, man, I love you, bro, but this is what you New York fans do. You guys win the first game of a playoff series, and then you're going to be out there near the train station tonight. You're going to be like bing bong and all this stuff. Like it's a long series. You know what I mean? It could go 7, 6, 5. You never know. It was a good win. Good win for the Knicks, but the Knicks didn't play that well. Like, I'm not sitting here watching the Knicks tonight like, oh my gosh, I'm terrified of this team. I just think the Hawks bottomed out. A couple guys delivered stinkers. So don't get too ahead of yourself, man. I'm just saying. Just saying. Here's Jalen Brunson at the top. Brunson guarded by Jalen Johnson, one-on-one. He's going to dribble, drive, step the other way. Brunson, mid-range, short. Anunoby going at the boards. Daniels on the floor. It's going to be a jump ball. I'll give the Knicks credit for turning up the defensive intensity here in the second half. They've been pretty good on that side of the ball. But also, I just think the Hawks are kind of running out of guys here. Like if Walker's not playing good and, they don't bring in Corey Kispert and Buddy Hield, then I don't understand what their game plan is. I don't understand. Cat for 3, drills it. That's probably going to be the one that does it. Cat has really stepped it up here in the second half. He was playing terrible in the first half, but it's been good in the second half. Then he smacks it off the knee of McCollum. Cat is screaming at the crowd like he just won the finals. He's probably letting out frustration for all the fans that have been talking smack about him all season long. It's now a 19-point lead for the New York Knicks. The Hawks have gone silent here in the fourth. $2 super chat. AP says, come to the I-95 north side. We would love to have you. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I would rather go play cricket or something. But I appreciate the offer. Appreciate you being here in the chat, man. But yeah, I'm good. Here's Mikal Bridges. Going to drive downhill. Turns around a defender. Floats it up. Misses it. Daniels the rebound. Hawks need Jock Landale back. They need him back immediately. Here's CJ McCollum. Going to find Daniels. Back to McCollum. McCollum going to drive, and he is fouled. But yeah, man, thank you for the love, man. Appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that's in here, man. Still over 200 people in the chat. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Be here tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern. Pregame, live game, postgame coming up for Sixers versus Celtics. Walker choked this game. Bro was a dud tonight. Yeah, he was. He was very bad. Very bad. Raptors fan here. I will say it'll come down to the Knicks and Celtics. Celtics advance to the finals. Could be. McCollum misses it. Here's Jalen Brunson, guarded by Alexander Walker. Karl Anthony Towns now. Towns working. He's going to kick it out to Bridges. Bridges for 3. That one is short. Picked up by the Hawks, and here they come. Alexander Walker, guarded by Mikal Bridges. Alexander Walker going to find Dyson Daniels, hands it off. Here's Jalen Johnson going downhill, full head of steam, and he is fouled. Knicks are dangerous until they lose one game and the fans say trade everyone. True. Celtics are going to fry us as Philly memes. We'll see, man. See. At least the Knicks kryptonite, the Indiana Pacers, aren't in the playoffs this year. They'd be shaking in their boots if they had to play Indiana again. Indiana could single-handedly be the team that that kept them from winning anything. Johnson going to knock down the second, 106-89. 17-point game here with 3 to play. 3:14 to go here in the fourth. Brunson guarded by Alexander Walker. Comes around a screen. Here's Jalen Brunson going to get trapped. Now it's Joshua Hart dribbling against Johnson. He steps back, foot on the line. Can't get it to go anyway. McCollum has the rebound. Here come the Atlanta Hawks. 2:45 to go here in the fourth. Daniels going to find Okongwu. Steps into a 3 and drills it. Not so fast. It's a 14-point game. 2:35 to go. Still feels out of reach, but if the Hawks can get a couple quick stops here, you never, ever know. Brunson around a screen, and it's an illegal screen. It's an illegal screen on Joshua Hart. So not so fast. The referees have come alive. Let's go. CJ McCollum. Here's CJ McCollum, going to drive, go behind the back. McCollum steps back, gives it to Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker up to Jalen Johnson. Johnson working against Josh Hart. He's going to pull up a three, and it goes! 11-point ball game. Here we go. 106-95. All of a sudden, it has been cut from 19 down to 11. Brunson going to spin, fade away, can't get the bounce, tapped up, and the Hawks have it again. 1:45 to go. Johnson, Alexander Walker for a three, bang!
He's on fire!
And it is a 8-point game. 19-8. You want to talk about RB's statements coming to fruition? Man, it didn't even take more than 5 minutes. Didn't I just say that? Didn't I say don't get too cocky too quick? They were about to go make the street videos right now. They're about to go light the city on fire and celebrate. Game ain't even over yet. It is an 8-point game. 106-98. Wow. 11-0 run for the Atlanta Hawks. I don't think the Hawks can come back and win this, but this has been a valiant effort. This has been a valiant effort here in the last minute or two. There's just something about in the final minutes of a game when you're down by a lot, like you just kind of stop thinking so hard about it and you just play and you just let the shots fly. And sometimes you're like, damn, bro, like, here we go. You know, here we go. Like the Hawks just finally stopped playing with all pressure. They're just like, all right, we'll just start shooting a bunch of threes. Cool. We're good. All right, here we go. 11-0 run for the Hawks in a minute and a half. Here's Jalen Brunson, guarded by Alexander Walker, gets bumped into the backcourt. Oh, they call a foul on Jalen Johnson. I thought that was going to be a backcourt violation. Hawks are in the bonus right now. The Knicks are not. Brunson looking to inbound. He finds Towns. 14 on the shot clock. Here's Jalen Brunson working against Walker. Brunson behind the back, going one-on-one. ISO, pull up mid-range, can't get it. Daniels the rebound. Here comes Jalen Johnson. Johnson at the top, looking for space, can't find it. Okongwu to Daniels. Daniels to Johnson. Quick ball screen. 10 on the shot clock. Walker going to set one now. Jalen Johnson trying to get a shot, steps back a three. That's a terrible shot, and he missed it. 50 seconds to go. Hawks trapping. They had a chance to steal, couldn't get one. Towns driving the lane, lays it in. $2 Super Chat. AP says, we need you guys to beat Boston so we can beat you guys. Why, are you scared of Boston, AP? You scared of the Celtics or what? Here's a wide open dunk for Alexander Walker. Back to an 8-point game now. 40 seconds to play. Hawks are going to need a steal. And the inbound, and Josh Hart was fouled. So it's going to be, I think, free throws coming up for Josh Hart, who I don't believe is the best free throw shooter. Let's see what his percentage is on the season. He's at a nice crisp 72%. So if the Hawks wanted to foul someone, Josh Hart is probably the guy. If we beat Boston, we're most likely going to beat the Knicks, says Shazy. Embiid would be back. And I do think Embiid could come back in the second round, though. I do think that is a possibility. First round's going to be tough. Hart going to knock down the first. Once again, I want to say thank you to everybody that's in here, man. Everybody that's hung out with me tonight. Nice little warm-up for tomorrow. I didn't know how this stream would go, but I've thoroughly enjoyed watching other teams play. And it's just a preview of what we're going to be doing for the entire playoffs, and we have a lot of good hoops to watch. So thank you so much for being a part of this. No matter who you are, I appreciate it. And I hope to see you all back tomorrow. We'll probably hang on here for like 10 minutes after the game, just break down a little bit of what happened. But yeah, Knicks knocked down both at the line. Big free throws for Hart. McCollum goes all the way and gets the 2 right back. So it's 8 points again. Got to give the Hawks credit for at least fighting in this game. The Knicks have put the hammer down, but the Hawks are at least not giving up. Brunson gets trapped, looking for somewhere to go with it, lost it, and they finally blow a whistle. I thought they could have wrapped Brunson up there and got a jump ball, but Brunson did a good job at spinning and wrapping it up. I need one more point from Brunson, says Busy. Well, here you go, Busy. Here you go. He's got 2 coming up at the line. 9 of 22 on the night. He had 19 in the first quarter. It looked like he was going to go for like 60. And he kind of just slowed down, but Hawks couldn't capitalize. There's one for Brunson. One more coming up. I really do wish Joel was playing in the playoffs. You know, the more I think about it and the more I was like doing research the last couple days, I was like, look, if Joel was actually playing this series against Boston, I might actually pick the Sixers to win the series. Like, that's how much of a difference I think Joel makes. And as good as Neemias Queta has been this year, I don't think he can tie Joel Embiid's shoes. I don't think he can shine his shoes for lunch, let alone freaking guard him for a whole series. So, yeah, I mean, it really does suck that Joel Embiid is not playing, and you got to wonder how many more runs he'll even get, if any. It really does suck, and it's, you know, it like you can't predict appendicitis. It's just the most random thing ever, and they were trying to keep him healthy for the playoffs, and he gets appendicitis. So it's like, okay. So the Knicks are going to win this game. There's 25 seconds left, 10-point game. They might as well just run this one out. All right, here we go. 25 seconds to play in game 1. Walker going to pull up a 3. That one's off. Hawks get it back, and we have an offensive foul. So once again, just so you guys know, I don't know if I'll be streaming the next couple games of this series. I will be streaming every Sixers game this week, and I'll be doing a bunch of NFL draft stuff. But after this week coming up, should be able to stream a ton more playoff games. We'll see how the schedule shapes out. But yeah, this week will be a little congested for me. But make sure you check out all my content on all channels. Make sure you click the link tree and follow us everywhere. We'll hang out for a few minutes to talk about this game. Excuse me. First one, go to the line for Josh Hart. Game 2 will be on Monday night for this series. Here's a step back from Johnson after the free throws, no good. Walker and Shamet got wrapped up. Why are we fouling, bro? Why are we fouling with 10 seconds left? Walker's pissed off. All right. That is officially going to do it. The New York Knicks win game one, 113. Let's go. 102. Bit of a physical battle, went back and forth. Felt like the Knicks had their pulse on it most of the time. And they finally get the W here. The Hawks just kind of bottomed out and fizzled in the second half, mostly in the fourth quarter. $5 super chat. AP, thank you so much. Says, I'm rooting for Philly to win the series. I got family there, and I have a good relationship with this channel. We have a common foe. AP, thank you so much for the love, man. Appreciate you. Congratulations on your win tonight. Hope to see you back tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, look, Sixers-Knicks would be fun in the second round. It would be a very entertaining series, 100%. But we'll see. We will see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, man. We'll do a little quick recap here. We'll take any comments or questions in the chat. If you have any questions for tomorrow about the Sixers Celtics or any other final thoughts about the playoffs, let me know your thoughts. Appreciate everybody being here, man. So yeah, welcome into the post-game live portion here. Knicks take down the Hawks 113-102. It's been an interesting first day of the playoffs. You know, you had the Cavaliers and Raptors game, which was close at halftime, and then the Cavaliers pulled away. You had the Nuggets and Wolves game that was very chippy and close, and then the Nuggets pulled away. And then, funny enough, this game has had the same exact pattern. The Knicks were very close with the Hawks at points. They went on runs. It felt like they were waiting to break that big run out. And then they pulled away in the third and mostly in the fourth quarter. So once again, welcome into the post-game show presented by Prize Picks. This game looked like it was going to be a Jalen Brunson 50 to 60 point game out of the gate. He had 19 in the first quarter. He could not be stopped. It was essentially Brunson versus the Hawks. Knicks had 30 in the first quarter. Brunson had 19 of them. And everybody else was nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, you look at Atlanta. CJ McCollum was absolutely hooping in this game. I believe he had 15 or 17 in the first half. And Jalen Johnson was starting to get going. And, you know, coming into this series, both of these teams shoot the three ball pretty well. And the Knicks are pretty solid on the board. So you were looking to see how could Atlanta kind of negate some of that size, right? Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. And I do think the Hawks showed me a lot in this game. Like they showed me, one, they're not going to be a pushover. They're going to make every game interesting. Like they, even when the lead went to 11, 12, 13, the Hawks kept battling back. They kept scrapping, even though guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker did not play well at all tonight. Dyson Daniels couldn't get even near the basket, and Okongwu, outside of a couple threes, was pretty much non-existent for the rest of the game. Jalen Johnson shot 8 of 19. They still scrapped and they clawed their way, and a main part of that was CJ McCollum, who had 26, 4, and 1. He shot 4 for 9 from long range, and it was 45 to 40 on the glass, so not that big of a disparity. But where the Knicks actually really got going in the second half was on the fast break, 22 to 13. They were able to turn up the dial on defense in terms of their intensity. And yeah, you saw the Hawks started to feel the pressure. Once they took CJ McCollum out of the game in the third quarter, they brought in Gabe Vincent, and maybe I haven't watched enough Atlanta Hawks as of late, but I was kind of confused that they kept Gabe Vincent in for 15 minutes. Reza Shea played 2 minutes in the first half, 0 of 3 from the field. He did not see the floor again. And the Hawks really shortened up their rotation. And I'm looking at guys like Corey Kispert. I'm looking at Buddy Hield. Like, where are these guys, you know? And Onyeka Okongwu is really more of a 4 to me than a 5. So the Hawks are pretty much playing without a big. You have Jock Landale, who's out with a sprained ankle. And Mohamed Gay brings you a little bit of size, but you still need like a 6'10", 7-foot guy, and you really don't have one. You have Tony Bradley, who you signed near the end of the season, but they didn't go to him. They didn't go to the rookie, Asa Newell. So definitely some interesting rotations from the Atlanta Hawks. I thought where the Knicks started to really capitalize in the second half was, again, second chance points. The total for the game was 13-7. The third quarter was insane. Like, the first half was very quick. It flowed. There was not a lot of stoppage. And I even said that at halftime, I kind of jinxed it. And then in the second half, there was 14 fouls alone in the third quarter, and the game just got very chippy. Even saw down at the end there where Nickeil Alexander-Walker was getting wrapped up with Landry Shamet. You saw Brunson start to chirp a little bit. Karl Anthony Towns is a hilarious player. We kind of talked tonight about his role. The first half, I think he had 2 shot attempts. He was horrible. He was turning the ball over mightily. And I got to give him credit. In the second half, he did settle down. He did use his strength. He put his shoulder down, got to the rim. I think one of the biggest matchups in this series is how do the New York Knicks continue to use that size to their advantage. And Karl Anthony Towns in that second half was unstoppable. He finished the game with 25 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal. And in the second half alone, he had 8 points in the third and 11 in the fourth. So just a completely different player than he was in the first half. And when Brunson cooled off, and I thought Dyson Daniels, who had 3 steals in this game, by the way, Dyson Daniels, 11 dimes and 9 boards. That is not easy to do for a guy that has had a bit of struggles this season. What is he, like 6'2", 6'3", I think? I forget how tall Dyson Daniels is. Let's see. How tall is Dyson Daniels? He has him listed as 6'7". I don't believe that. I think he's like 6'5". But to have 9 boards and 11 dimes is pretty impressive, along with 3 steals as well. I thought he did a great job locking up Brunson one-on-one in the second half. Brunson went to the line, I think, 4 times in this game, so nothing crazy. But yeah, the Hawks were shooting around 50% from 3 at halftime, and it kind of just cooled off in that second half. They end up shooting 38% from 3 in this game, so they were really bad in the third and fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, they only had, they had 28 because of garbage time, but realistically, they had about like 15 in the fourth. And the Knicks ended up shooting 48% from 3 in this game. So they were able to drive and generate the open looks, and I thought Anunoby was huge, 19 and 8. And how about Josh Hart with 14 rebounds? These are the types of games, you take the good with the bad, but when the Knicks fans see Josh Hart dropping 10 points and 14 boards, like, every team wants a guy on their team, especially one that's listed as a guard that can give you 14 boards. Like, when he's doing those little things, and he also hit a couple big free throws down at the end there, those are the things that can help make the Knicks a great team. And it just felt like they had more depth in this game. I mean, Jordan Clarkson came in 8 off the bench. Robinson had 2 big blocks, and McBride had 6. So yeah, Hawks definitely got overpowered. They don't have much of a bench. They need Landale to come back. But I still think, even with how bad they played later as this game went on, like, they still showed me that they could scrap and claw. And yeah, I did pick the Hawks to win this series. Maybe I just don't want the Knicks to win. But I also do think the Hawks, again, can bring that speed and that athleticism. And, if I was the Knicks, I wouldn't be too confident with one win tonight, just because I don't think they played nearly their best game. But we will see what happens moving forward. All right, what do you guys think? What's your biggest takeaways? Let me know in the chat. We'll read out a few comments, and we will get to our final takeaways on this game, and we're getting warmed up. Be here tomorrow, Sixers versus Celtics. It's going to be huge. Can't wait to see how that plays out. Before I read out some final comments in the chat, got to give one more shout out to our great partners of the show over at National University and also Prize Picks. Shout out to Prize Picks, man. Prize Picks, with the playoffs being here, man, I mean, we're here. Like, this is the time. You know what I mean? The playoff push is heating up, and we have finally made it. And yes, the Sixers are in the playoffs, and this is where stars are made. Every play counts. There's no better way to cash in if you're right on high-flying hoops action than with Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Every bucket, every dime, and every win means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. With Prize Picks, you can build lineups with multiple sports in the same entry. They offer predictions across 100 sports. You can even parlay different predictions from and different picks from multiple games in the same day. Like tomorrow, there's 4 games going on. You could go one pick from each game if you wanted. You got to check out their team picks markets as well, where you can pick game winner spreads and totals, all on top of the player picks you already know about. So cash in if you're right during all the clutch buckets, slam dunks, and Cinderella moments with team picks on Prize Picks. What's really cool is you can even pick who's going to win a certain series, the league as a whole, the championship, or the MVP, and other awards as well. It's another way to pick sports you love, all on Prize Picks. Team picks are available right now in 35 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, Washington, and more. And Prize Picks also offers early payouts. So if your player gets off to a hot start like Jalen Brunson did tonight with 19 in the first quarter, you could have had the option to cash out the winnings before the game even finished. So download the Prize Picks app today. Pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push rolls on. Get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup using the code CLNS. Once again, use code CLNS. Get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to Prize Picks. All right, man. Couple final takes here. I think the New York Knicks were getting hype in that second half. I think the Hawks are coming back on a vengeance in game 2. I'm not going to say game 2 is a must-win for Atlanta, but I do think that if they go down 2-0 and let's say the Knicks come back and they beat down the Hawks on Monday, like let's say they win by like 20, 30 points, that could be the demoralizing game. Like that could really strike their confidence. So if you're an Atlanta fan, you want them to come back re-energized, ready to go, making some adjustments in game 2. How do they, contend against that size of New York and, the guys inside, the Anunobis, the Cats, the Robinsons? How do they go up against that? How do they take him out of the game? I mean, they did in the first half, but how do they, continue to build on that, keep Josh Hart off the glass, keep Brunson away from the paint? How do they do all that? That is the main question as they move into game 2. And really, I think if a couple guys shoot a little better, like if Jalen Johnson shoots better in the second half and Nickeil Alexander-Walker shoots better overall, I mean, they could have had a really good chance to win this game. I mean, Johnson had 13 in the second half, but didn't really shoot that well. 1 of 3 in the fourth, 4 of 8 in the third. So we'll see what happens, man. Shazy in the chat says, thanks for streaming the game. It was fun. See you in the next one. Shazy, appreciate you, man. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Lorenzo says, Hart is a Swiss Army knife that can do it all. Alex says, I hate the Knicks, but they might end up sweeping this series. I can't see that happen. I don't think they're going to sweep, but we'll see. Just because the Hawks were dominating the Sixers doesn't mean they're going to beat the Knicks. I don't think I said they were going to beat the Knicks because they were dominating the Sixers. Never said that. Knicks fans are obsessed with Trae Young. They are. And they're probably out there celebrating right now at the subway. And, they're going to make some cool street videos and stuff. But I wouldn't get too overconfident after one game. It is a series for a reason. Adjustments have to be made. I don't think the Knicks played really a great game tonight, but they did enough to win. And they turned it off. They turned it up in the fourth quarter defensively when they needed to. And also the Hawks just missed a couple easy shots and it led to, easy transition buckets for New York. I mean, like I said, they cooked them in the fast break, but in terms of Atlanta, There were times, like even at the end of the game, it was a 19-point game, and in a minute and a half, it was down to an 8-point game, 11-0 run for Atlanta. So they do have the ability to get it going and to get hot in stretches, but we'll see if they can do it moving forward. We'll see how it goes. Give me any final takes, thoughts, and questions in the chat. Once again, we will be here tomorrow as the 76ers take on the Boston Celtics. Game 1 of that series, 1 o'clock Eastern start time. Looking forward to that. We'll see if we stream any other games of this series moving forward. Just going to be a tough week for me with the draft coming up for NFL, so I'll be tied to a bunch of things, but looking forward to streaming a ton of games. This was a very fun game to stream. Just talking with the community, with the chat. You guys were amazing tonight. And yeah, it's always fun just watching hoops. And now the Lakers play the Rockets tonight. But as we heard during this game, Kevin Durant will not play due to a knee injury that was suffered at practice. So no Luka, no Reeves for the Lakers, and no Kevin Durant for the Houston Rockets. So we'll see what happens, man. Looking forward to the Sixers tomorrow. Tonight was a nice warm-up. See how it all plays out, man. Once again, this is the post-game live show presented by Prize Picks. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you all for being here. New York Knicks get the win in Game 1, 113-102. We'll see if the Hawks can rebound in Game 2, and we'll see how the rest of this weekend plays out. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. It's been fun. The real show starts tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it, man. 76ers and Celtics. Can they pull off the upset somehow, some way on the road? Shock everybody. We shall see how it goes, man. Knicks get the win. They lead the series 1-0. And the favorites are all winning here today so far. We'll see if the Lakers can keep that up tonight. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. And I'll catch you not too long after this. Peace.